ninth episode of the Boss Rush podcast. I'm your host, Braden Lander, and today I am joined by Kyler Ramos.
Whoa!
Jonathan Ferris.
Oof!
And Malik Fleming.
Whoa!
Whoa! Whoa, that was...
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
I know, I'm pumping with enthusiasm today.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Me too. I'm happy for
Yeah.
you. Happy
I'm
for
happy
us.
I'm happy for us. I just put out our new interview. I hope you guys go check that out.
Hells yeah.
Hells yeah. It's
Hells
with
yeah.
John Ribbons and Simon Bennett of Roll 7, the developers behind Ali Ali, Naughty Hero, and recently Laser League. So go check that out. It's a good one. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So Kyler, let's start off right off the bat.
Oh.
What are you playing? What are you up to?
Just living.
Besides Illustrator.
Yeah.
Hey, if that's a game you like.
Well, I put a couple of dozens of hours in it. But yeah, nothing much this week. I've just been looking at all this God of War stuff, just thinking about that bald boy.
It's time.
Oh, it is so time.
Oh. Is it time?
It's bald boy time.
It is.
There's no other time better than bald boy
It's
time.
Bald Dad Simulator.
Bald
It's
Dad
almost
Simulator.
time.
You know,
I mean,
yeah.
what other game do you know that has a dedicated boy button?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, there's no other game.
The first
what
thing
game?
I thought of was a boy
What
in a
you got?
blob had the
Oh, yeah.
hug button. You
Hug
could hug
button?
your blob.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. So you haven't been playing anything? Nothing too
Nah.
wild? No.
Nothing too wild.
Good. That's good.
Good.
That's
That's not good.
Sometime-
Yeah,
no,
you're
no.
escaping the addiction.
Yeah, sometimes
Good.
a break. Sometimes
Yeah.
a break.
Baby
You know?
steps.
I've just
Sometimes
it's
it's like-
guys, I'm not gonna lie, ever since you guys showed me Leo Luster last time, I get this feeling in the pit of my stomach every time I think about video games. And Leo Luster's image is just right there. It's just right there.
Leo Lester's image is always right there, no matter when.
It's like,
or
oh,
where.
It's there in your heart.
I have some,
Yeah.
let me play some video games, and then my brain makes the connection, video games, Donkey Kong, Leo Luster, and then something just happens.
Your inadequacies
Every
take
time.
over.
Something weird just happens in my
Images
body.
flash.
Yeah.
Images flash.
I don't
in
know
front of
how.
you.
It's like it puts me in a spell. I don't know how long it's gonna be till it goes away. Is this normal?
Never gonna go away.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
This
never
is the
ends.
new normal.
Oh,
This is normal for
Yeah.
anybody who knows the truth.
okay. I mean, I went to the doctor. I asked him who Leo Luster was. I just kept telling him. I kept seeing him in my head.
What did
And,
the doctor say?
Well, he called the police. I had to leave
Oh.
as soon as possible.
He called the police because there's
Whoa.
nothing wrong with
Wow.
seeing it, and seeing something wrong with it is a problem.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we're supposed to see Leo Luster in our lives.
Oh, okay. Well,
It means you're finally grown up, Kyler.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what it
thank-
means to be a man.
okay. I feel a lot better now.
That's good. So Malik,
Yes.
what have you been playing?
A whole lot of Wildlands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
A little too much, but it's
Yeah.
great. The multiplayer on
is.
there is fantastic. I mean, you've been playing with me.
Absolutely.
It's the most tactical experience I've had in a long time.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna bring it up anyway when I talked, but I'll just jump in and say my words here.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's the best. I think it's some of the most fun multiplayer I've had in a very, very long time. I want to say since good old Uncharted 3 multiplayer, actually.
Oh,
Maybe even The Last of Us. The Last of Us multiplayer is exceptional as well.
really?
But I haven't had this much fun in a multiplayer mode in forever.
I feel
like,
like the
honestly.
most fun the fun that it captures is when I started PUBG when we first started because it was so tactical, but now it just doesn't feel the same, you know? And
Right.
this captures that feeling like basically every time because we
Mhm.
always have to like communicate. And you mostly win when everybody has a mic. You do so great at communicating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what is it about this game that has pulled you in all of a sudden?
the multiplayer. The single player I haven't played that much, but it's the multiplayer where it it's that tactical feeling where you're in your squad and you have to find different ways to either lure out the enemy or you scout them out, and then everybody has to do their own moves. Like even if you're a support, you're essential to the team.
Right. Yeah, I think that um, one thing for me in particular is I feel like third person shooters lend themselves to being more tactical than first person shooters, and
Mhm.
it's weird to say that, but I really think that it's a visual aid because I don't know, I feel like the best moments in Ghost Recon are when I'm like stealthing and crouching down
Mhm.
underneath the foliage, the super high grass, and I'm just feeling like I'm actually stealthing around.
Yeah.
And I don't get that with first person shooters, I guess. So I think it's really a visual aid for me that's just pulling me in. I've always preferred third person shooters over first person anyway.
I could totally agree with that because you don't know if you're fully hidden if you're going in first person. You don't have
Right.
like when you're in Skyrim, you can see like the little eye, but here you can actually see if you're hidden, you're behind cover, you know the sniper has no sights on you.
Right. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's just another thing, and Malik touched on this as well, was the fact that um everybody everybody has a role to play. And I know you can say that about a lot of games, but really if they don't play their role, or if they don't at least just help even a little bit, then it's really going to come down to how well you and the other guys that are doing their job um, play. And that's something I really appreciated about Destiny 1, was the fact that even if the rest of my team was dead, I still felt like I had a chance, you know?
Mhm.
And it's that little feeling of hope that when it goes down to like 1 versus 4 or whatever, you know it's a great multiplayer game when
Mhm.
you still feel like you have a chance, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, like you can easily pull it off. I've seen you do it several times. I've only pulled it off like once or twice, but like
It's an
it's a
amazing feeling.
yeah, it's like you can just wing it, and you just kill
Mhm.
everybody on their team. You just don't even know what happened at that point. Like there was one time where you were playing and all four of them were around you. You were the enforcer
Mhm.
and you shot every single one of them. Like they were behind you, you just gunned them down. It was
Oh, yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah, it's just those moment to moment gameplay, like, just decisions. You have to be hot on your feet, and I appreciate that.
yeah, exactly. And what's also great is you don't need a certain like combination of units. Like it feels like
Mhm.
oh you need an assault, you need a marksman or something like that. But
Yeah,
sometimes
no.
you can go like we did. We went three scouts and then
Mhm.
one marksman, and we ended up just smoking them and then bombing
Yeah.
it. I think that was with James yesterday. But yeah, he was there. Like we ended up smoking them and then I put down artillery, and they can't see the artillery area when they're under smoke. So it just like bombs down on them, and I ended up killing like two people with the artillery. And it's just
Exactly.
like wow, you can just pull it
Hey,
off so many different ways.
the gunplay in that game is so satisfying as well.
Yeah.
Like the hit markers, I really appreciate the feedback that they give you,
Hmm.
because whenever you hit, you hear it. You hear that, like the
Yeah.
click of the hit marker just like hitting, and I don't know, that's such a satisfying sound to hear, um, notifying you that you're hitting your mark.
Yeah, and on that, it's just like there's also when you're under like when you're suppressed, it's really a feeling of urgency. It changes a
Yeah,
lot, so you really need to get out of there.
exactly.
To push that, you just can't run through their fire and shoot back.
Another thing too is the maps, and I have to really praise the team at Ubisoft for this one,
Hmm.
because the maps are very large. They're very large maps, but the objectives are centralized. They're very centralized, so it gives you the opportunity to use the map to its full potential,
Hmm.
um, and really think about the way that you're going to uh, take this particular objective.
Yeah, and I think
I
I think
it's
knowing the
great.
maps could give you an advantage, of course, but I don't feel like it gives like such a huge advantage because everybody always plays it differently. And I'm sure you could find a shortcut
Yeah.
to get somewhere else, but it's not possible to like, I don't know, just completely overwhelm them just because you have so much more knowledge of oil rig, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another thing too is the time of day is different, and I've talked about this with Malik many times, but depending on the time of the day, like if it's daytime versus if it's nighttime, the map that you're playing on looks completely different, and the gameplay completely changes at
Yeah.
night or in a storm or in fog. It completely changes. It makes you think about everything, and it's so good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but that's really all on that. I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. I think this is about as advanced that I've been in a multiplayer in a while.
Yes, it's so good, man.
Yeah. But other than Ghost Recon, I started a way out with a friend. I haven't gotten too far yet. I just got out of the prison. Yeah, it's not that great in the prison, but I'm sure it's going to get better. It's been pretty fun now that the stealth scenes have started and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But we got out of the prison, so that's okay. And then what else did I play?
I
Not that
appreciate how
much.
little that Haze Light showed outside of the prison. I just want to add that.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I just assumed the entire game was about the prison break.
That's what Jonathan thought.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But that would
Well,
have
I
been a
remember-
lot.
I remember that trailer, and I thought the whole thing was going to be like, I thought it was going to be like one big prison escape kind of game, and like it would be different every time you played it because there would be so many options, right?
Yeah.
Then they were like, oh, but then you get out of prison and the story continues, and then I was like,
So it'd
oh,
be
wow,
like some sort of Escapist 3.
sure.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever played those, but
They're really fun, especially with a friend on Escapist 2.
Mhm.
It's a whole lot of fun.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, if you never played the co-op on there, if you have a good friend to like just join in with, it's some good fun. You could just join.
I
in
don't
with
have any
on it.
friends, so
Oh yeah, that's true. What are friends?
Yeah, we're all paid actors.
yeah, exactly. I'm pretty
Cut,
good
we
at
have
it,
to
though.
cut that.
Yep. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Restart.
Writing down the timestamp right now.
Oh,
All right.
no.
Cut Jonathan telling the truth.
Let's just eject this guy. He just
Yeah.
I
Let's just
apologize.
eject him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better apologize.
Illusion is
apologize.
broken.
Like email
Apologize.
Apologize.
An apology over the internet.
An apology.
I'm gonna type up. I'll type up my letter of resignation tonight.
Thank you. Please do.
Oh, that'd be a great website. Just a website to write an apology called epology.com.
Yeah. There you go.
We gotta patent that before this episode goes up.
For real.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Is that
but
it, Malik?
yeah, other than that, just more tooth and tail. I tell you, that game, it's so simple, it's addicting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really it for me.
Nice. All right, Jonathan, what you got?
I've actually played games this week. I'm so
Nice.
excited. I don't know why I'm getting so excited about saying that, but I've played games. I played some good games.
That's good.
First, I'm going to talk about Forza Horizon 3 a bit.
Heck
'cause
yes, I'll jump
I got
in there as well.
I got back into that. And I mean, Forza Horizon 3 is kind of like old ground at this point.
Yes.
But just jumping right back into it. And that game is so fantastic.
It's phenomenal.
It's so good. Just
It's
drive.
beautiful.
It's a
Mhm.
beautiful game. It controls like a dream.
Yes.
Just I don't know, it kind of explains itself, I guess. It's the kind of game where I can turn it on and get lost, and time will go fly away like it doesn't even, like nothing.
Right. Why do you think that is? Like, I know we were talking about it while we were playing together, but like, what is it? If you've thought about it anymore, what do you think it is that draws you towards this and just makes you completely lose sight of the time that flies by?
I think it was something you said where it was like it kind of feels like you're just driving in real life where time just flies by. You're like looking all around,
Right.
and you're not even really focused on the driving so much as you are just your surroundings.
Right. Yeah. That's what it is for me. I mean, for me, it's just it just feels like you're on a joyride at every moment, and it's one of those things. Kyler, I'm gonna I'm gonna give all of us some PTSD here, but
Oh,
it's
no.
it's that hot dogging effect.
Oh, yeah.
It's that. It's
Yeah,
when
no, you're
when you're driving, there's just a bunch of different landmarks that you see, and you just go, "Oh, that's cool," and you just keep driving, and then you just keep seeing new stuff, new stuff. And the thing is that the game, even if you see something way off in the distance, right? The game, because it's an open world game, allows you to go straight there. But
Mm-hmm.
while you're going there, after that, you might see something else. And at this
Mm.
point, you're like trying, like weaving in between different trees, probably hitting some that you should be breaking, but the
I
game
do that
is
in real life all the
yeah,
time.
You don't
yeah,
have to tell me about
Sometimes some
those.
kids, sometimes trees.
yeah, exactly. Sometimes a family of seven.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
No, but you're absolutely right about the hot dogging, and I didn't even realize this until now. But it's just the kind of game where it's like you could just keep on doing stuff forever. It
Mhm.
feels like if you
Like,
see
do you
something in the
just run
distance,
into a race out of nowhere?
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
'cause
can. I mean, you might see cars driving by, and then you can challenge them to a race, and then suddenly you're racing.
Barn finds are the absolute greatest
I
things.
remember those.
Yeah.
Don't you also have the ghosts of like your friends driving around so you can like race
Yes.
Drivatars, yep.
Drivatar.
Yes. Drivatars.
them?
But what me and Brayden did too is we joined like the same world, and we were like racing each other all over the map, and we were doing
Yeah.
like events together.
Wow.
The last one that we did was called the Goliath circuit that like took us all around the entire map, and it was great. I love that.
Took us like
Very
15
relaxing.
minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't even feel like it.
No, not at all.
And I think the genius of it too is like even if you're not headed anywhere, if you start building up a skill chain, then suddenly that's what you're doing.
Exactly.
And you just keep on stacking up, trying to do your best skill chain, listening to the music, and just
Mhm.
going at it.
That's another thing too is
The festival music.
yeah, music is a very big part in time going by.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and at least for me it is when I'm listening to music, uh I'm invested into the music, and then I realize that, oh my god, I just went through 10 songs. That's like 45 minutes right there.
Mm-hmm.
Um and so when you have a good soundtrack like Forza Horizon does,
Yeah.
you really just sink into it all. Let it all just kind of play out around you,
Mm-hmm.
I suppose.
No, you're right. It's got an incredible loop.
Yeah.
It's everything about the game is like satisfying from top to bottom.
Yeah, they really
Mhm.
capture that like whole racing feel, like that whole racing festival.
Yeah,
It really solidifies. It doesn't feel like you're out of place at any point.
exactly.
Oh, and we're not gonna get to this yet, but if Forza Horizon 4 takes place where I hope it does, oh my
Uh-oh.
gosh,
Oh yeah.
it's gonna be
It's
something
gonna be
else.
something. So you played, well, did you play 2 a bunch?
I played 2, not as much as 3,
Okay.
because I think I didn't ever have my own copy of it. I only had yours,
Right.
and then I gave it back to you for reasons we won't talk about here. You
Mhm.
know. So 3 is really the one I have the most experience with. I haven't even really played the original at all, except maybe
Yeah.
like one time.
Yeah.
But they're great. I would honestly love to go back and play the first 2 at some point too, just to have like, that same kind of gameplay in a different area. Like
Yeah,
the Italy in 2 is, I
Mhm.
remember it being fantastic as well.
Incredible. I actually prefer the second one. I prefer the third one, um setting wise. I vastly prefer, even though Italy is an incredible setting, I vastly prefer Australia, just because of um the amount of different geographies
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
the map. Though the thing with the second one that I felt so satisfying was the progression of it all. And it's interesting because it's a much more linear progression than the third one. It's all right, you go to this festival, finish all the stuff in this area, then go to this one, finish all the stuff in this. You get the deal. And it's very linear, but you can still explore the entire map and do whatever you want in between.
Right.
Whereas the third one, it's a little more open, where it's like, okay, you finished a couple challenges in this one, so we're going to open up this festival, and then you're going to complete a couple challenges there. Then we're going to open this one, this one, this one, but they're not finished yet, if that makes sense.
No,
Uh,
I get what you mean.
so you have to kind of keep going back and forth between them to finish them. Whereas the second one, you more or less had to just complete them there, but still have the opportunity to do everything else. And I think I like that more, because I just feel like it feels better, feels more satisfying to do it that way.
Yeah.
But that's entirely like a progression thing. Other than
Yeah,
that,
right.
it's amazing. The
Right.
cars are great. Everything is great.
Besides Forza, I've been playing some of those backwards compatible games.
Nice,
Uh,
nice.
Mostly the ones that came out yesterday, but I did finally start my copy of Psychonauts.
Mhm.
Don't have much to say about that yet because I've only really played the beginning levels, but I love the feeling or the what's the word? It feels like it really feels like a cartoon come to life, like a mid-2000s cartoon, really. It's just got that aesthetic and that like voice cast and those characters
That game
Mhm.
that are
always
really
looked fun. I have it on Steam, but I never really started it up much. I played
Mhm.
like 10 minutes of it. I still need to get into that, but it's
It's
always a
really
classic
good.
I wanted to play. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of
Yeah,
good
I'm
things
hoping
about it.
Yeah, I'm hoping I stick with it because I don't know myself. Sometimes I just drop something for reasons unknown, but I like it so far.
I feel like you
Besides,
yeah.
yeah, besides that, I played a bit of Conquer in HD.
Oh.
Ooh,
My lord,
how's the first simulation?
what's that?
The first simulation.
Oh, I mean, it's amazing that it looks like that on like an original Xbox. Like I really think that game is the best looking game of that entire generation, and now to see it in HD is like, oh, it's gorgeous.
Oh wow, that fur. Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
some good
yeah.
fur.
Oh
I can
yeah.
I could just pet Conquer all day long.
Whoa.
Oh.
What?
Some heavy petting.
Yeah. I haven't played it much though because I've spent most of my time with Panzer Dragoon Orta,
Mhm.
and I
No.
finished I think the first 5 episodes. I think there's 10. And so far I think I love this game a lot. Like it feels like an even better version of Star Fox.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Just like the world and the music and like the story. Like I was doing episode 5 before we started this, and it was just like the dragon lost its wings and you were just like running across like a snowy landscape and you have to like shoot everything around you and the music is perfect. And
Oh.
I'm liking it
I
a
actually
lot.
played
So it's like
Panzer Dragoon Orta over at a friend's house. I remember they had an original Xbox, and I was
Wow.
playing a bunch of those
Mhm.
a long time ago,
Mhm.
when we lived in Ohio. And I played like Knights of the Old Republic, and then was like Panzer Dragoon Dragons. That's pretty cool. So I put it in. Yeah, it's from what I remember, it's a really good game.
it looks like
It's
Star Fox Dragons.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean that's the simplest way to say it.
It's an
It's
on-rail
pretty
shooter.
different though.
Yeah.
It is on rail.
Oh.
It's different though because I think the biggest mechanic is like you can change your form, like your dragon's form, like with the press of a button. So you have like a normal form that's balanced, then you have like a heavier form that's harder to move, but it hits a lot harder, and then you have like a lighter form that's really agile. You can't charge up your shots though, but it'll like auto aim or onto whatever enemy is in your reticle.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of like balancing back and forth. It's like, especially on a replay, I find myself like when I've replayed a level, I do way better because it's like I know what's best for each specific area.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting. I kind of wish Star Fox had stuff like that where you could like change the abilities of the R-wing on the fly, and the levels would
Yeah.
be designed around that. But yeah, I think that's about it for Panzer Dragoon. That's definitely what I'm gonna finish because it's not too long.
Yeah. How long have you been playing it for? Already being halfway through.
Uh, Probably about 2 hours. Not
Okay.
super long. Even 2 hours might be might be sane. Might be more than what I actually
Saying
played.
is
But
that what we
so
should be
far,
calling
so
you
good.
is MLG Jonathan.
Yeah, bro. I
Right?
play games all day, every day,
All right, we're gonna start calling you
24/7,
MLG
bro.
John then.
All
All
right,
right, guys,
just
does that
call
sound
me.
good?
What about MLJ, Major League Jonathan?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. Let me go grab my air horn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And the last game I want to talk
Whoa,
about.
more.
One more, and this is a game that you're gonna talk about with me. Is A
Okay.
Way Out.
Yes.
We finished it,
Oh,
Holy
And-
moly.
yeah. I don't want to really talk a whole lot about it, just because. Oh, I don't want to talk a whole lot about it because I don't want to spoil the ending.
Yeah,
But
you absolutely
wow,
cannot. What
No,
a
I can't.
ride.
but the game picks up so hard. I think in the last couple missions, like it really feels like just from a story perspective, and like the very final mission from a gameplay perspective too is so well done.
It's
In
so
my opinion.
interesting.
It's they really go all out, I think.
ha-
And
have you guys played Brothers?
yes, Kyler.
Yep.
Okay.
I have not.
You know, you haven't. Okay, I'm not going
I
to
have
spoil it
not.
for you, but it does something like this really interesting thing towards the end with the gameplay mechanics. I'm
Mhm.
wondering if they do something similar with A Way Out.
I'm not going to confirm or deny.
Oh, okay. Look at you, PR expert.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yep. It is
I'm holding-
exceptional.
yeah. I mean, I'm holding myself back on purpose, especially since Malik is here playing it. But
Mhm.
Thank you.
awesome game. Really, really, really good stuff. I'm like choking
Yeah.
on my words here. I don't.
I just express
Well,
yourself, brother.
No, yeah, no.
Thanks,
you can't.
brother.
No, the reason why he's choking on himself is because he's trying so hard not to say anything
Yeah.
Mhm.
that might like
Even
reveal
hint.
something. Yeah.
What a good boy.
No, yeah, it's great. Like after, okay, I like even the prison stuff is it's fine. It's good. It's all right.
Yeah, it's neat.
But everything after that is just fantastic.
Mhm.
And it's hilarious. Like there are some
Yeah.
moments that
Oh, I just
uh,
remembered.
yeah, we like this is not a big spoiler at all, but we were playing basketball and it's just hilarious. It's just funny because these characters are so ridiculous. Like the voice acting is so ridiculous. It's just this one moment, this one glitch. It had to have been a glitch. There was no way that it
No,
wasn't.
100% it was a glitch.
And it was just the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah. The story is very like B movie, it's
Mhm.
not high art, but it works, and it did like legitimately surprise me and grip me as a
Yeah.
man.
Whoa, gripped ya.
Yeah,
Gripped him.
got a hold
Yeah.
of him.
Oh no, that's
No, yeah,
dangerous.
Didn't let go.
You gotta be
I would
careful.
absolutely agree with that. Our review of A Way Out will be up on Friday.
So, was it lengthy? Was it meaty? How did you feel about it overall?
I don't know how long exactly. I want to say probably around like 5 or 6 hours.
5 to
maybe
6 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds about right. Is it worth 30? I think if you can like split it with a friend, it's
Mhm.
worth 15 per.
That's how you do it. Yep.
Yeah. I recommend it though for sure. If you have someone to play it with, which you obviously need to, otherwise the game is unplayable.
Yeah.
You know what would be cool is playing it like couch co-op. I kind of wish I was able to do that. That might have been.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I thought you were.
That could
able
have
to.
been even more interesting.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, you definitely can. You definitely are able to.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I might do that then.
Yeah. It's yeah, for sure. If you can do that, otherwise it's not a big deal at all. Like you still get the core experience and you still feel everything that happens
As
to
long
its
as
full
you're
extent.
yeah, as long as
As
you're
long
able
as
to
long
talk
yeah,
to the other person.
exactly.
That's-
As long as you're playing with another person that you know, then you get
Yeah.
that real experience.
Okay.
But couch co-op would just amplify that.
Amplify.
It
Seems
would
my
really,
choking has caught on with everybody here.
yeah. I don't
It's
want to.
part of every
I haven't choked yet.
All right, Kyler, I'm keeping a.
Oh yeah, keep a tab on me, big boy.
Jonathan, this isn't a first occurrence.
Oh, it's definitely not.
Every week. So is that what you've been playing, Jonathan?
Yeah, that's everything.
Nice. We got a good list going. got a good list going. I just want to add. I mean, I played a bunch of Ghost Recon. I already said my piece on that game. It's fantastic. Give it a try if you have the
Definitely
money.
give it a
I was
try.
like, seriously, I would even say that if you can get this game for like $40, the multiplayer, if you have a good group to play with, even if you don't, it's still a bunch of fun. It's so much fun, this game.
What's great about it too, and maybe the community isn't like flourishing crazy,
Mhm.
but it's not toxic at all.
No,
It's
yeah, people actually talk.
I think the most toxic part is probably we've been most toxic to people who are doing terrible. But
Yeah, it's not even us being toxic though. It's us like joking about it and then saying, "Okay, do this."
yeah,
Like this is how you do it, you know?
yeah, exactly. Like no one's really arguing or anything. The most you get is like a sly remark. And that's
Yeah.
it.
That's
Yeah,
surprising.
exactly. And then after that, then they start complying and helping you and like actually talking. And it's great. It's like, okay, this actually feels good.
That's so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. And then Forza Horizon, I said what I have to about that game. It's just, oh my God, I'm so excited for the next one. Forza Horizon is an incredible game. Oh, I do have something to add here. Actually, I have something that you don't. I have
Oh,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Hot Wheels DLC for this game. There is
Oh,
a
yeah.
legitimate Hot Wheels DLC for this game.
that's
Oh my
awesome.
God, it makes you feel like a little kid. Like I don't know how much you guys played with Hot Wheels. I played with them all the time. I had the orange little tracks that I would
Same.
like fly the cars down. Oh my God, it's so good. So in this game, it's exactly that. It's exactly what your child brain was thinking was actually going on during this, during when you set up your orange tracks through the ladder of um your uh bunk bed or something like that. Just some wild stuff, and it's so cool because you actually see like these huge helicopters just bringing in these ginormous orange tracks, and it's so much fun because you're actually driving with these Hot Wheels cars that you played with as kids, you know.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful too. Like, oh my God, the because of the nature of these orange tracks, you know, they're plastic. So when it moves into the sunlight, you kind of get that effect where you can almost like see through it or where it's brighter, you know.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's so good. And what I didn't realize, I thought it was just going to be a series of races, right? But no, they're actually 5 islands all interconnected by these Hot Wheels pieces, and and you can free roam around them, and it's really really awesome. I really really like it a lot. Uh, it's $20 if you got Forza Horizon 3 and you don't have the Hot Wheels expansion. You got to get it. It's
Sounds like
good.
it sounds like a little baby boys game.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
Dude, I had this Hot Wheels game that came with like Captain Crunch one time, like some Kellogg's box.
Mm-hmm.
And you would like drive around these tracks, and there was like one with this fish bowl, and you would jump over it. There was a little fish in there.
Yeah, like there are like dinosaurs. There's like a T-Rex in
Whoa.
this one.
What the hell?
Yeah, yeah, I know.
That's
It's
not
funny.
what I was expecting.
It's funny because the guy too, he's like, "Oh yeah, we just got this dinosaur for no reason."
Oh.
It's like, all right, this is cool though because
Yeah.
I'm just driving around in Hot Wheels on some cool islands, and it's sweet. I love it. It's good. Forza Horizon 3, pick it up. Hot Wheels expansion. I want to get to the Frozen Mountain or whatever that's called eventually.
I think Blizzard Mountain.
Blizzard Mountain. Thank you. Yeah. Another game I played for the interview in specifics is Not a Hero. Not a Hero is an action cover shooter by the devs of Ali Ali Roll 7. Um, I bought it because I bought it day one because ever since Ali Ali 2 and Ali Ali 1, I was like, I have to support whatever these guys do. So I played it. You know, I'll be honest, I wasn't really feeling it. When I went back to it though, just recording the gameplay footage. And as you can tell if you watch the interview, I'm not very good at it. It's really interesting because it has this certain rhythm to the gameplay, and when you press X to change cover, and when you have to shoot, when you have to use your special abilities, it's really quite fascinating. My God, the game is hilarious. Like it's legitimately funny because there's this character named Bunny Lord or whatever, and wow, like you'll hear it in the interview, but they really predicted the future. Like Bunny Lord is exactly how Donald Trump campaigned. It's crazy. It is like legitimately insane. He's just hey, I'll say whatever gets the votes. I'll do whatever gets the votes. It's crazy. Like it's actually crazy. Because it's so ridiculous. And when I'm watching this game that was made in 2015, and now looking back on last year's campaign, or wow, 2 years ago, or 2016's campaign, it's just it actually made me laugh because it's funny. It's crazy. So this Bunny Lord character, he says some pretty wild stuff, and it's really good. The dialogue he has with your character is really really funny. Because he has no idea what the hell he's talking about, but he likes to seem like he's just up on the podium talking in front of a bunch of people, and just next to him is like the ghost of some famous person, and he's talking about how he doesn't really know what to say, but you should listen to him because he has this ghost of this famous person next to him. It's ridiculous. But not a hero. I'm really digging it. I think I will actually end up beating it and finishing it. There's a bunch of different characters too that you can unlock. The story's fun. Nothing groundbreaking though. The story's nothing groundbreaking, but other than that, that's all I've been playing.
Well, and not a hero. Tell me this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Does it ever give you the feeling like Hotline Miami? Like you have that replayability where you can just like run through and just feel like you could do it forever and ever?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Because there are a bunch of different challenges in each level.
Yeah.
And some of them are actually pretty tricky. Like there's one where there's a pretty hefty level and you have to get through it in 40 seconds. And I was like, oh my God, you would have to be a master to do this. But yeah, the gameplay is very satisfying. It's very snappy, both figuratively and literally, because you're literally pressing X to snap to cover back and forth. It's really good. It is really really a lot of fun to play.
Okay, yeah, because so then I might start it because I was feeling like I should. I don't know. That's what deterred me. I didn't know if I'd be able to recapture that feeling, you know, because I was
Yeah.
hooked on Hotline Miami forever. I have it because it was free for a bit on PSN,
Mhm.
so I might just hop on in there if it's really that good.
No, yeah, it's a very interesting. It's a different feel for sure, but it also captures the kind of feeling that Hotline Miami does. That frantic sort of pace to everything.
Okay.
You don't die immediately, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't make it too hard, but there's a lot of cool things that you can do with the gameplay to really spruce things up. So yeah, it was free on PlayStation Plus, right? That's how you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I snatch everything I can get off there.
oh yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, you have that. I say go for it. Start it up. See how you like it. Definitely not a game for everyone, but if you like Hotline Miami and are up for something a little bit different, but kind of in the same style, I'd definitely give it a shot for sure. Oh, show.
Nice.
So let's get into the meat of things. All right, there's a spicy rumor going around right now. Is this bad boy's about Call of Duty Black Ops 4? The rumor is that it doesn't have a campaign, and instead the campaign is going to be replaced by a battle royale mode. Whoa, developed by Raven Software, I believe. Raven
Yes.
Entertainment, something like that.
Yeah.
Raven Soft, I think.
Yep.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa! What a twist!
That's a bold claim.
Yeah, it is. I don't know how to feel about this. Black Ops has always been my go-to Call of Duty series. I feel like they're the best. I feel like Treyarch is the best at making these crazy, bombastic campaigns that actually make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Though Black Ops 3's campaign was a little wonky, a little out of left field. It's pretty wild stuff.
I don't
But
know. I got to be real with you guys. I've never been really interested in the campaign from. So
mhm.
like I've they've been a little fun for a bit, but like just actually like running it on my own, it's never been fun. Like when I'm with friends, it's fun to go through, but like just on my own, I want to go multiplayer. That's what I feel like it's always been about if we're starting with Call of Duty, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, yeah, my first question was going to be, what are your experiences with Call of Duty campaigns and stuff like that? Call of Duty in general, really.
For mine,
Um,
it's been like World at War was the most fun. World at
Mhm.
War, it just felt
A
the
lot of
most
people would say that,
visceral.
yeah.
That was
Yeah,
under Treyarch.
because
Yep, Treyarch did that one.
I don't know, like it really gets you where it's just like it feels like the violence just like hits in, and you know, it's just like it was a lot better than the games around back then, where you set someone on fire and they were just running around burning and screaming, and
Mhm.
you know somebody got hit with stepped on a mine and their leg flew off, stuff like that,
Right.
and that's what really enticed you because you didn't see that in multiplayer.
Not
But
at
like,
all. Even
yeah, but
after that, you didn't see it.
exactly. So it really brought something new to the table. Meanwhile, in the other ones, it didn't really feel like that. I wasn't interested in the characters. I didn't care that I was whatever his face was and that he was in Modern Warfare 2 again. You know?
Yeah, Modern Warfare 2, Infinity Ward's campaigns never really did anything for me.
Mm-hmm.
But Treyarch's like Black Ops 1 with Mason and the Vietnam stuff, the Cold War stuff, that always really kind of stuck and like resonated with me, I guess. It was always like super interesting. Just that Cold War, John F. Kennedy stuff. It was wild. It
Yeah.
was really crazy. Yeah, anybody else got anything?
Yeah. Anybody else have experiences with
Yeah.
Call of Duty?
I don't have much experience with Call of Duty. I remember,
What do you
you
see
know,
there?
I remember the string of Modern Warfare and then World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, and I played just about all of them, although never too deeply. It would be at like a friend's place, you know, and I would
Mhm.
play a couple of rounds. Never really touched the campaigns. I think my favorite experience of playing a Call of Duty was I think in Black Ops 3, the gun game.
Yes.
I think that's such a cool idea, and
Gun
actually
game's
playing that
awesome.
it was like the most fun I ever had playing a Call of Duty, where it's like you had to keep killing with every single gun, and if you do it, you win, which I really liked. But besides that, I think the more interesting thing here for me is like I remember thinking, I guess it was last year, it's like, oh, we're gonna start seeing everyone having their battle royale clones, and if this is true, then this might be like the first really major battle
Mainstream one.
royale like
Mm-hmm.
clone. And I think even more surprising than that though is that it's going to happen in place of a campaign,
Right.
which would be shocking to me. But I mean, I think the rumor said that the campaign was really bad, and they figured it makes more sense to just scrap it and then do this battle royale thing instead. I'd have to look into it some more, see if I'm correct or not on that. But
It's interesting because I remember them trying to go all out with World War II's campaign, even so far as to hiring one of the lead designers who worked on Gone Home, I believe. Actually,
Yeah.
do you guys remember that?
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Apparently, the World War II campaign was actually pretty great, and so was the Infinite Warfare one. Apparently.
Actually, I can say that. Yeah, it was pretty fun, but the thing is that it just I don't know, it reminded me a lot of Titanfall 2, and that's why the whole story just threw me off. I don't know. I was torn between the two at the time. I saw my roommate playing it, and it's like had this whole captain thing going on. You had your own hub and everything, so I guess
Yeah.
they changed.
It was a long campaign too. It was like 16, 20 hours.
Wait, really?
For World War II?
For
Okay, I wasn't
Infinite Warfare.
I wasn't
Oh,
remember
Infinite
all of
Warfare.
that. Like, gee,
Yeah. No, there's actually like a lot of stuff. Like there are legitimate side quests and stuff like that. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I remember I remember
Yeah.
that looking interesting, but a lot of people like didn't like Infinite Warfare because it was too spacey. Is that's the gist I got from it?
Well, okay. See, here's the thing, and I really hate it. People don't know what they want, you know?
Mhm.
And like with this, it was more in the multiplayer where people said, "Wow, I don't like the way this moves. Let's get boots on the ground," you know? Ha ha ha. It's like, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's okay. But the campaign itself was like actually good, but all of those complaints about like time to kill, TCK, whatever, uh, that was all really multiplayer. And a lot of people that played Infinite Warfare, like Malik said, like what he did really, what they weren't invested into the single player, so they didn't play it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, but the
Yeah, I
people that
guess you never
played it
really see
were like,
how
this
far it
story is
goes.
very interesting.
Mm-hmm. You never really see how far it goes, and I think it happens to me too. It happens to me all the time when I see Call of Duty. As I expressed earlier, is that you immediately think there's nothing to the story because it's Call of Duty. It's always been multiplayer,
Right.
you know. So no one's gonna actually go into it. And another thing I actually saw about Infinite Warfare is that people didn't even play it because
Oof.
Call of Duty Ghost was so bad, or it was not so bad, but it wasn't any good to other people. Like it didn't recapture them into Call of Duty, so they just like
Yeah.
blew it off because that futuristic theme wasn't sticking with them, you know. But it was actually a lot of fun.
Actually, Ghosts was the last one before they started going boots off the ground. Um,
Mhm.
the thing with Ghosts was that the maps were too big. The multiplayer maps were too big. The gunplay wasn't very good at all.
Mhm.
People just hated the multiplayer. Now, here's my hot take for the day. Okay, Call of Duty Ghosts to me has my favorite Call of Duty campaign out
Really?
of
Really
yeah,
nice.
it's honestly one of my favorite first person shooter campaigns, period.
Wow.
Like right behind, I'd say Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 is the pinnacle of single player first person shooting
It's so
Absolutely,
good.
I
single
could talk
players.
about that for quite a bit.
Absolutely.
I love Titanfall 2's campaign.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
great. It's just that
But
sideways level.
so oh my god, I'm curious, Braden, what exactly about Call of Duty Ghosts got you so pumped that you would go so far as to say that it's one of the best or one of your favorite campaigns?
Yeah, I think one of the things that you don't really see in Call of Duty campaigns if you don't go far enough is the variety in what you're playing, and the variety in Ghosts as well as the story itself. Um, just it really made me like intrigued. Like I actually cared for these characters because uh, in World War II you have your band of brothers, right?
Yeah.
But in Ghosts, you literally have another brother. The person you're fighting aside is your brother, and you also have this dog. Um,
Well, I remember the
and
dog.
So it's kind
oh,
of
the
like
dog.
Army of Two.
Yeah, a little bit. Uh, but the story, the ending of that campaign, actually makes me angry, thinking that we're not going to get a sequel to it.
Huh.
It's crazy. Do you guys care if I spoil it? Because
Nah,
Well,
go
I
for
actually
it.
want to know.
it's pretty wild. Uh, the character that you play um ends up getting captured or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and is turned into the bad guy. And then the rest of that level, you play as the other brother that you thought was going to get turned into the bad guy.
Huh.
Oh,
Ah,
Wait,
it was crazy.
how was he turned into a bad guy?
Well, it was like I forget. It was so long ago. It was
Brainwash him?
like 4.5 years ago. This game came out. Jesus.
Yeah. It was the first
Um,
Call of Duty on like the
next gen. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like he fell or he got captured, and then the last scenes were him just being tortured
Ooh.
into submission, essentially. And you're like, oh my god, this is insane. Like the sequel or whatever, you're gonna play as your brother,
Huh.
like trying to take down your brother. And it's just it was super interesting. And like I said, like the variety and everything was really, really quite quite good. Like, everything was new. Everything felt different each time you played it.
Yeah, I haven't even played it. Now I feel angry.
Yeah, I
Or,
know it's like, oh my god, I want to see this. Like, I want to see
Yeah.
this come into play.
It's weird. I've always been that odd man out in which like I never touched the multiplayer. I only played the Call of Duty for the campaign.
Mhm.
Like ever since World at War. I
Mhm.
did play like online a little bit, but nothing about it ever grabbed me. Like I played Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer a lot, and that's kind of
Yeah.
like when it hit its stride, you know, like when Call of Duty like fell into its formula of like all these perks and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, and then like a Black Ops 1 especially, like I love Black Ops 1.
Yes.
And I
the
love
Vietnam setting.
it's so
Mm.
good. And but not only that, but I love how creative they were with the menu where you're strapped to
know.
that chair and you can break out of it and
Mhm.
explore that menu room, and you can go to the computer terminal and type in all this stuff. There's like
Yep.
so many cool secrets to it. And
I
I
know.
love that they went the extra mile to do all this stuff. So if it is true that they're getting rid of the campaign, even though I haven't like played a Call of Duty since Advanced Warfare, which wasn't that long ago.
Advanced Warfare's campaign was actually pretty. See, that's the
Yeah, I
thing.
love
It's
Advanced
like
Warfare.
a lot of people dismiss these campaigns, but they're actually okay.
Yeah, they're
like,
pretty
they're
good.
actually pretty good.
They're not like
Except Black Ops 3.
amazing and
Black
nothing,
Ops
but
3's Black Ops
Dumb.
3's got insane, like too insane. Like it started becoming. I'm gonna spoil it here because
yeah,
again,
go for it.
sorry,
That's where it
but
lost me, to be
it
honest.
starts getting into like some virtual dream stuff.
Yeah. Like some what's your
Like-
boy Tommy Cruise's movie?
Minority Report.
Yeah, Minority Report.
Oh,
You
okay.
start playing like the whole game takes place in like a dream inside of this matrix or something just wild, something crazy. And Jonathan, actually, this is really really funny to think about, but the guy that played the chef in Wet Hot American Summer is your leader.
Oh yeah.
And, like,
That's the cherry on top.
and I think he's the one. He's like super screwed up in the head, right? He's the one that you're playing his Matrix dreams. I don't know. It's weird.
That guy was crazy. I can't
Oh,
imagine it.
Yeah. He's the
But yeah.
funniest part of those movies.
I found those Black Ops 4 tweets about why the campaign was cut,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently it's because it was too outlandish. So
Oh.
if Black Ops 3 wasn't outlandish enough, you can only imagine where they were going to go with the fourth. one.
I appreciate that though.
Yeah.
I appreciate that though, because the thing is, and that's I mean that's just it. People don't play the campaign, so
Yeah.
these developers are like, okay, so let's go wild with it. Let's do something different. People aren't
I love
people
that.
aren't playing these games for the campaign, so let's give a treat to the people that do actually play the campaigns.
So they're like missing out when they don't touch it at all.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'd be incredibly disappointed if Black Ops 4 doesn't have a campaign, especially if it's coming from Treyarch.
Okay, now we talked about the campaign and everything, but what could they be adding to the battle royale that's going to bring something new to the table? Because I don't think they're going to have us like looking around for weapons.
Perks.
Like, yeah, they're going to have perks, but do you think someone's going to start out with a loadout like the multiplayer usually would be, or like a minimal loadout?
Yeah, it's a difficult question
Mhm.
because Call of Duty's never done anything like this.
Yeah,
Like with Battlefield, it's much easier to translate Battlefield to a battle royale because of how big the maps already are.
yeah.
And if
But
I
with
could
Call
cut
of-
in here real fast, there's another rumor that Battlefield 5 is going to have a battle royale mode now too.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Uh,
it begins.
yeah,
Everything's a
but-
battle royale.
Yeah, like the thing with Call of Duty is their maps are very three-laned. It's a three-laned like MOBA structure almost.
Yeah,
And so I don't know how they're gonna translate Call of Duty's gameplay to a battle royale mode.
I'm actually pretty excited to see that. To see
I
what,
am too.
because you have all these new developers making battle royale games, but when you actually have like a an evolved developer, like they're a AAA
AAA.
developer, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
When you have a AAA dev like that making those games or making a battle royale, like will they just throw them out of the park? Like will Fortnite and everything else not even be in the equation anymore because they found a way to perfect it or make it even better?
especially
think-
because it's Call of Duty.
What I'm thinking is that there's no way they were working on a battle royale game, or at least I think there's no way they started
Nah.
work on this before PUBG blew up last summer.
Mm-hmm.
You
No
know?
way.
So if you think about it that way,
Exactly.
this probably hasn't even been in the works for a year at this point. So by the time the game comes out, maybe a year and a half of development time on a battle royale mode. So
Yeah.
Which is why I think that the battle royale thing is a given, but I
Mhm.
also don't think that they would just scrap like years of campaign work
Nah.
I don't
just to
think
put
so
this in.
either.
I don't think they'll do this. So I think that this rumor's half right with the battle royale, but there's no way. There's no way that they dump a bunch of money into this campaign and they just say, you know what? Let's just cut it. Let's just cut it all.
I think the
Just
most
doesn't,
they'll do is
doesn't make
cut
any
out
sense.
some maybe some like weapons that you can get in some multiplayer modes at most.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
for
just-
in change for the battle royale, honestly.
Right, I'm just trying to think of like what this is gonna play like, what this is gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to think about.
mhm.
What's even the setting for Black Ops 4? Is like it's
Exactly,
right
we
after
don't know.
3, but I mean, we're gonna
Robots.
find out.
We'll be inside the Matrix.
Oh boy.
It's all a dream.
I hope they go back to the Cold War,
We're all Elon Musk.
Vietnam setting or whatever.
It's gonna be a time travel. They're gonna time travel back to the Cold
Oh
War.
yes.
Oh, there you go.
You
There
time
you
travel
go.
back to World War II.
And then
Oh,
you do a mission with the World War II campaign guys.
oh, that would be kind of sick.
God, that would be insane. Go back to the cavemen time. You know that we're always joking about Call of Duty cavemen, Call of Duty prehistoric, but it's a
Crossover
thing.
between Ubisoft.
Yeah,
They're gonna
exactly. Far
they're gonna
Cry,
go back to Far Cry Primal.
far
Oh,
of duty.
I don't like that one bit.
No, yeah, that's it. Yeah. So how do you think that they're gonna do this battle royale mode? What do you see? Like, it's so
honestly,
difficult.
I see a loadout. I see them trying to relieve the whole idea of having to find the weapons
Mm-hmm.
and then making the map. I think it'll be a little bit bigger than usual one because Call of Duty plays a little quicker than like PUBG and stuff. It's not as visceral. So I think they're gonna have to make it a little bigger, but it's gonna be a little smaller but more compact because it's gonna be a lot of building. So I think we might get what we actually like or what I actually like in PUBG. Like when we go to what's it called?
Los Leones.
Los Leones. And there's all those buildings. I think that's what we're gonna get there, where it's just a packed city and you're going through it trying to fight people, and there might be a little bit of wilderness. That's what I'd like to see out of
Yeah,
it.
one thing I want is just verticality.
Mhm.
We don't see a lot of that in these uh, battle royale games. Like we see mountains and stuff and climbing up on top of mountains, but we don't see any vertical buildings.
Yeah.
I would say the closest you get to verticality is building upwards in Fortnite, but that's artificial, you know.
Yeah.
And no one wants to do that anyways.
Hmm.
You think
Yeah.
they'll implement a third-person mode?
Oh,
I hope so.
That's harsh. to
I hope
think
so.
about.
Because
That would
they've
change a
never,
lot.
Modern
they've
Warfare
never
2
done
had
that
it.
before. Oh, it did
Yeah, Modern Warfare 2
in-
had third person.
in
I
the
had no
multiplayer.
clue.
I didn't know about that either.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was it
Huh.
like you had to pick it out to be like in a
Yep.
custom mode? Okay.
It was a certain mode that you picked. It was like
Okay.
third person hardcore or something like that.
Oh
Interesting.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see that make a comeback then, especially if it's for the battle royale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I definitely think it's gonna be a lot quicker, and they're gonna have to they're gonna play a bit with the perks. Like you can find upgrades to your weapons rather than find new weapons around the map. You know.
Right. I think that's a good idea. Starting you off with a loadout, and being able to find attachments and perks.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you get more kills, it'll make you strive for kills because you've always had those like the drone strikes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you might just get those if you get 5.
Would you keep
kills
the
in a
kill
row.
streaks?
Yeah,
I honestly
I think that would be amazing. That would add a lot to it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about Call of Duty, but like the gears are turning in my head right now, and I don't think PUBG or Fortnite do they really reward you for racking up kills?
No.
Not really.
Not
And I think
really.
that would add a lot to it.
So if this is a game that actively rewards you for being good, you know,
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's okay. A lot of people are really, even I did this. Uh, a lot of people were shitting on Radical Heights, right?
Mhm.
And I don't think it's a good game. But the thing with Fortnite and Radical Heights that it does better than PUBG is your feeling of progression. Like there's an actual progression system behind it. Now with Fortnite, you have to pay $10 to even have this progression unlocked with the battle pass, which is absolutely ridiculous. But with Radical Heights, there's this progression of killing people, get money, invest the money into ATM so that you could have it for a next match, so that you feel constantly invested every time that you play a match.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um,
Now, I have a question. What was the Fortnite for progression? I don't understand what
it's the
$10 for what?
stupid battle pass
I
thing
didn't.
where you
It's kind of
pay
like a
for
cheat.
challenges.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Mhm.
stupid. Why would you want to pay for missions?
I don't know, but
'cause
people
it's
are
free
doing it.
That's silly.
in droves.
Hmm.
So it works.
Yeah, but no, I think that is a good idea. Is having kill streaks because, like you said, Jonathan, it rewards players as you're playing.
Yeah, because it could mean anything. Like
Yeah.
if you get a 3 kill streak, you have like recon, and
Exactly.
then at the very end, that could really like save your life. That could make it or break it.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like I could play a game of Fortnite or whatever in like a duo, not get a single kill, but I'll still get the win, you know?
Hmm.
So maybe if like, the game like actively tried to push you to you have to get kills if you want to have a chance, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And you'd probably still be able to win a game if you like you'd have to get like one kill, like the final kill and all that, but I think if they actively tried, to reward you for doing good, and I think when you get to the ends of like those rounds too, is it would be like really high skill players against each other.
Yeah.
For sure.
You think
Yeah,
you think
that's an interesting concept.
the zombie mode is Treyarch, right? Like that's
Yeah,
their statement.
that's their thing.
Oh, zombies is still in according to
Yeah,
these
yeah.
news.
You think they're really okay? Well, do you think they're gonna implement that into the battle royale structure?
That would be so much fun. Like
That would
I would
be
like that a lot too.
PvPvE, like having some like a battle royale mode with actual zombies inside of it, like the Division's
Yeah.
Dark Zone. That would be really good.
Imagine like going into a house trying to hide from a dude, and then like a zombie's trying to come, and you're trying to board up the window.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh man. Yep. I think that's how I want it to be. I think I want it battle royale zombies now.
I thought PUBG wasn't PUBG putting. Didn't they put zombies in?
No.
There is a zombie mode in
What?
custom matches though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
it's insane. It's so scary. There's like 8 people versus 92 zombies.
I want to
90
play that. Why have we ever done that? Jeez.
We can't do it. They're custom match only. We can spectate them. We just can't play them.
That's
You're not
whack.
cool enough, Malik. That's why.
Wow.
Yep. No one's cool enough. No, but Kyler, I think you got it. I think that's how I want
Yep. There it is.
Battle Royale to be. And if it's not that, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Do you think they'll do vehicles? The Call of Duty doesn't do
No.
vehicles.
No, I don't think they should, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, no.
I
I
think
don't,
Oh,
the
you know-
vehicles are cool.
That's interesting though, again, because Battle Royale vehicles are Fortnite doesn't have vehicles.
exactly. Yeah, I think you can do it without it, especially since I think they're gonna make it compact. I don't see them making this battlefield esque huge map. I see them making
Yeah,
it
which excites me
big.
for Battlefield.
Yeah,
Royale.
yeah. Because I think they might just implement like helicopters and stuff into that.
Yes, jets, dude. Oh my god. That'd be so much
amazing.
fun.
Oh
But
hell yeah.
yeah, Kyler,
That'd
if it's not zombies battle royale, I'm gonna be disappointed. So
Yeah.
thank you for setting up disappointment for me.
You're welcome.
I
They should
appreciate that.
They should call me. I'm right here. Treyarch, I hope you're listening. I'm right here,
Yeah.
and I have all these ideas. Put ducks in the game.
Ducks.
Yeah, ducks.
And Venom.
Oh, Venom.
Yeah,
Leo Luster.
like
Leo Luster, definitely
Yeah.
Leo
No, I don't want Leo Luster in there.
Luster.
Nah,
Leo
get him
Luster
out.
Tyler's
I
life,
want
but-
$1,000 Leo Luster skin
Oh.
for
Would you
Smash
actually
Brothers.
I'd buy it. So the next little bit of news that we got this week, it's a little bit smaller. It's a game delay, something that I used to hate, but now I've gotten over. the delay of Dark Souls on the Switch. Yikes!
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm very apprehensive about this remaster in general.
Really?
I
How
don't,
come?
yeah, I don't know if you've seen any of the videos, but they look. Does not look that good.
Well,
Uh,
have you seen some of the Digital Foundry stuff that they did on it?
yeah.
Yeah, it's like like there's some textures that are like up res, but a lot of the lighting, like they revamped the entire lighting of the game, which
Yeah.
like changes the atmosphere of a lot of sections.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like
I'm
my
someone
major
that
point of contention.
I'm someone that hasn't even played the first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've never played it. Uh, Apparently, like Blighttown is actually good now.
Playable
Blighttown
now?
was
Yeah, that's what I
Blighttown
heard.
was one of those one of those locations in the game that was just completely unplayable. But it's like it doesn't even feel like a remaster. It just kind of feels like some parts of the game look worse than others. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. And this Switch delay is a little scary too for all the Switch owners that are getting it on the Switch.
Yeah, like I'm sure it's
I-
performance problems.
Yeah.
I haven't been looking too deeply into it, but I think I heard that the Switch version actually isn't really getting any of the lighting improvements or anything. It looks a lot closer to the original game.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
no.
might be wrong, but I think a lot of people would say that's a good thing because they prefer the original look.
I don't know, but nothing
I'm-
hurts on enhancing something like
Yeah, but then why
Well,
see now that rubs me the wrong way actually.
Does it
Like
if it
that
doesn't
just
have?
well, for me,
if it doesn't have anything and it's called Dark Souls Remastered and you put it on the Switch and it's like it's just the first game. Like, come on now.
well,
$60.
well, you know,
I think it's
well,
40.
imagine
Oh, Jesus.
imagine you're
Still.
one of the
Yeah.
few people who only buy Nintendo consoles. I know it sounds crazy, but they are out there.
Oh yeah.
This is their first time they'll ever be able to play Dark Souls.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like for
Yeah, you can
me,
play Blighttown 16 frames a second.
I think I remember hearing too that Blighttown actually ran well on the Switch too. So that's not really a big deal. I don't think this is like a straight port on the Switch compared to the other consoles. I just don't think it's seeing the same enhancements. But I mean, I can't say for sure. I really haven't looked too deeply into it.
It's,
I'm just going off hearsay.
for me, my takeaway from it is like even like at least on the PS4 and the Xbox One, just the upres and the addition of 60 frames per second to Dark Souls just adds a lot.
Mhm.
So for me, that's more than enough to want to play that game for the 80 millionth time.
Right.
My biggest problem with it is that like it's Dark Souls remastered, and I don't know if you guys knew this, but in the original Dark Souls, there's a lot of content that was cut, and especially there's this one area in the game where you explore like this lava area, and it not only does it run like absolute dog. This is a family-friendly podcast. It runs like garbage. But they littered the area with these enemies, which are literally just like dinosaur butts that are just stomping around this lava area. But there was
Dinosaur butts?
yes, I'm not even lying. It's like the pelvis and legs of like a dinosaur just jumping around the lava. But there's like
Monster Hunter.
there's there's like 20 of these things hopping around, and there was supposed to be this whole area in there. They just cut it out and like filled it with these dino legs. So
Ugh.
like I was expecting with the remaster that they would go in and actually like complete that area, you know?
Mhm.
But there's no word on whether that's actually happened, and I highly doubt it.
And I think it
That would
got
be great.
confirmed that they weren't adding anything.
Yeah,
new to the game.
that's a bummer to me.
I think
Yeah.
the funniest thing about the delay is that I'm pretty sure Nintendo had some marketing deal with it. I mean, they went out and made a Dark Souls amiibo for this game.
Mhm.
So if you like to praise the sun, you can buy a praise the sun amiibo.
Welcome, Hunter.
I will say this
Welcome,
for any of you guys who haven't played the first Dark Souls yet, I think it is easily the best one in the entire series.
Really?
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
played it yet. I played Dark Souls 2 and 3.
Bloodborne is so different from it that to me it and Bloodborne are tied,
Mhm.
and I love Bloodborne to death.
Yeah, I had Dark Souls 1 or Dark Souls Remastered like pre-ordered and I was super excited. I just saw the videos and I just wasn't feeling it. I don't know. I think going back to that cuz I like Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 so much because you can play like super fast.
Mhm.
Like you can play the game very fast paced, and just going back to that slow, methodical pace. I don't know if that's really my thing. I'll
You
probably
can,
wait for the reviews on this one.
yeah, you could probably still play it fat. Like you could play it naked. I mean, like after I played
Yeah, I
Bloodborne, it
want
was
to do that.
yes, you do. It's so good. It's so
I
good
play
to
all
run
my
around
games
naked. And when you die, like your body is just this disgusting rotting corpse now until you pop like a humanity. So then you're just this naked bony brown man running around.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. I
Brown.
don't know.
But but yeah, I think your best bet if you want to play Dark Souls is to get the PC version, which officially out of the gate runs like garbage.
Mhm.
And I don't even think you can natively like do 1080p on it either. You have to like install this thing called Dark Souls Fix and like go
Yeah,
into this like text file and edit a bunch of stuff.
Right. If I did get it, it would be it would be the remastered probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because. And yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just not feeling it right now, I guess. I'm not feeling what it looks like, I suppose. Like I was expecting like a really big overhaul because they were saying that it runs in the Dark Souls 3 engine. So I was expecting it to look
Yeah.
like Dark Souls 3.
I think that was just like a rumor though. They
No, I thought it got confirmed that it was
Nah.
in Dark Souls 3 engine.
Nah, it was just that was the thing that was being thrown around before it came out. And
Oh.
yeah, it doesn't. It utilizes some of the lighting techniques that they used in
Mhm.
Dark Souls 3, like off of the armor, like some of the spec maps. But other than that, it's just
Yeah.
they didn't really do much to it than high res it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll probably get to. I'll probably get to it eventually, just because it is $40.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
I was
Yeah,
considering it, but this delay makes
Good.
my choice a heck of a lot easier.
It's
do
just
you want to praise the sun with us, Jonathan? Do you want to become a hunter? The answer
No.
is no.
it's just
Nah.
it's a bummer too compared to all these like actually good remasters that have been coming out recently, you know?
Yeah.
And to have this Dark Souls one just come out and then get delayed and then like
Mhm.
also kind of look worse than the original in some aspects. It's,
Yeah.
it's not a good look. It's not a good look,
It's
Namco.
only
Yeah, it
the
is only
Switch
the
version
Switch
that got
version that
delayed.
got delayed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't know what they doing. I don't know what they doing.
What a
So
whole
then-
nonsense.
The next topic that we
No.
got is an interesting one. I was thinking about this because there are rumors that Wave Race is making a comeback,
I saw that.
which is pretty crazy. So I was thinking to myself, what other games would I like to see return? And so I extended that question out to you guys. I want to hear what are some game series, what are some games that you would like to see make a comeback, and how would you like to see them make a comeback?
Okay, before we start this, originally I read that as what are 3 game series you wish you returned? And then I started thinking of like immediately I thought
Oh,
like
no.
Lucius 2. I want to get rid of that shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But oh man, I'm gonna have to think about this. Like it's so easy to pick out what you hate.
Do you
Yeah.
do you want to name one? Like you name one and then go around. And so kind of like we did the Smash Brothers thing, instead of
yeah.
like naming our threes all at once.
No, yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I guess I'll start here.
Yeah, go for it.
Okie dokie.
First one that I said was Resistance
Oh, that's
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
from Insomniac. Those games were really, really interesting to me. Like the weapons in those games were really, really something. And it just kind of just died off after Resistance 3.
Yeah. I think there
Resistance.
was that
Yeah?
Vita spin-off. But that's
Yeah,
just the Vita spin-off.
right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, we don't. What's a Vita?
don't
What do you call it? Resistance 1, I think. Resistance
Fall of Man?
Retribution.
No,
What's-
it's Fall of Man.
It is Fall Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually my like first rated M game.
Oh really?
Wow.
Yeah, I had it.
Big
And,
boy.
well, the first rated M game I owned was Modern Warfare 2, but the first rated M game I played and hid from my parents was Resistance. I hid it like underneath the couch.
Wow.
It was
Porn.
very bad hiding spot.
They're gonna find Playboy, but they find Resistance.
Can't get too mad, right? No, they'd probably get more angry because they'd be like, violence, what the hell? No. Resistance has always been interesting to me. I love that concept of just aliens invading. There's a small little rebellion group. The aliens have gotten in. They have taken over essentially, and now it's up to you to uh, destroy their um, destroy the ranks from inside out. You know,
That's right.
I always appreciated that. And Insomniac, Insomniac's first person shooting gameplay is just super super satisfying to me, especially in those games. So
I with Resistance, I find it really interesting how much that series evolved from the first game to the second game to the third game.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
they added and removed so many features because they're trying to like find their legs with the franchise.
Yep.
And then I guess they never found it. But I think my favorite, I think with Resistance 3, they really hit like a really nice sweet spot.
Yes.
Yeah, and like Resistance 2, I think Resistance 2 is actually my favorite because
Mhm.
it's a lot of people's least favorite because of all the changes they made. Like they went to a more Call of Duty style, like 2 weapons. You didn't have that weapon wheel, and then it was really like a lot more linear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Exactly.
yeah, and then with Resistance 3, I think they got it nice.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Nice
if there
mix.
was any Resistance I've ever had the most interest in playing, it was the third one.
Yeah, it's the most Insomniac of the 3 games.
Well, that's a good term. That's a good way to sell me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is for sure. So yeah, that's what I got. Resistance is my first one.
Nice.
All right, who's up next?
Go, Jonathan.
Ready?
Okay, I'll go. This is kind of like an idea I stole from somebody else, but I like it so much, and I've kind of expanded on it in my mind a bit more that I'm gonna go with it. This is Kid
Mhm.
Icarus.
Yay.
Oh, okay.
Good pick.
Now here's the
Good
thing about
pick.
Uprising is that game was built around the 3DS so much. Like I don't think you could even port that game to anything and it would work because it's so, at least in my opinion, it needs that touchscreen. So if you did another Kid Icarus, you'd have to really like rethink how you make a Kid Icarus game. And someone said, why don't you do a Kid Icarus game that's like Kingdom Hearts? And then I started thinking, it's like, okay.
Oh, whoa.
So if you have a Kid Icarus game where you're going to all of these different worlds, like in Uprising had so many worlds, and I like getting excited thinking about if this ever happened. But now I'm thinking like if you had like multiple weapons too, because
Kingdom
Uprising had
It's like God of War.
kind of.
Wow.
Like,
Oh,
I'm just thinking like in Kingdom Hearts you just have the Keyblade, right? But
Yeah.
Kid Icarus Uprising has, I don't know, something like 10 different weapon types. And if you could like if they like fully developed all these different weapon types in like that kind of action RPG setting, or if you were able to use like a Kid Icarus like equivalent of like limit forms, you could combine, weapon types, that kind of thing. I think as a solid groundwork, if you're gonna bring back
Huh.
Kid Icarus, doing something like that, like an action RPG, and you keep like the dialogue and the characters and everything of Uprising, is like a dream come true. And for a long time, I really thought Kid Icarus Uprising was good enough. It was so good that I don't need any more. Like that is, it was
Wow.
good one and done. But now, the more I think about this, the more I think I want something more in this world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Kid
know
Icarus
if
is so good.
Kid Icarus is so good. I don't know if it's high enough priority for Nintendo to ever get somebody to work on it, but I hope so.
I feel like that'd be a
because-
neat surprise. Honestly.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be so cool.
You want to see me get hyped? Oh, you're not gonna get a good game.
I'm about to cry.
Oh my god! But it's like they really went all out with that Kid Icarus game
They
because
did. Kid Icarus Uprising is like the total package. It's like a trilogy all in one game too.
it's so good and like but yeah, like I remember like because Nintendo they don't do voice acting, but
Mhm.
they do now. But they did with Kid Icarus, and I was like, whoa, like what is going on here? Nintendo, you're growing up.
Mhm.
It's just and it makes me sad. Like I remember playing it on the 3DS and just being like, I shed a tear when I beat it because I was like, I know there's just never gonna be another one of these.
Yeah, it was funny because I think Sakurai had an interview where he said, "Ask me again in 25 years, I'll make a sequel then."
Yeah.
So
And I was
19
like, Sakurai,
19
you
more
bitch.
years.
Come on, Kyler. This is a child-friendly podcast.
No, that's a child-friendly word.
Eject
Oh,
this
okay.
guy. This is
That's
a
fine.
Christian.
My
No,
mom
that's-
used to call me that all the time. It's okay.
Oh,
I this is a little tangent, but I hope after Smash Brothers, Sakurai gets to go wild with something original, brand new, not
No,
Smash Brothers again.
Kid Icarus.
I hope after Smash Brothers, Sakurai gets to go back to his wife and like get to live a normal life.
Yeah, honestly.
That's what I want for him.
Sakurai lives in a cage
He,
in Miyamoto's office.
if you actually like look in, like he's done interviews about what his like life is like.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like he has like an hour of free time every day. He's like sits on he's on like a stationary bicycle to work out. He watches like 2 movies at a time on like Speed Up or something.
Yeah.
I would have to
That's-
look it
yeah.
up.
That's not
Reggie
too
is
far
like
from my
cattle
life.
prodding him.
It's insane.
But
Miyamoto's
man,
like feeding him like asparagus through the, like just through the bars of his cell.
He's on a shrimp and asparagus diet.
Yeah.
It's very strict.
Raw shrimp.
no, but
All pink.
no, Miyamoto's on his way to give him food, but Reggie stops him in the hallway and he's hungry. Takes it away from Miyamoto's hands.
He's not wanting to work. Let him starve.
He peeks through the window.
Yeah.
He peeks through the bars and he just eats it right in front of Sakurai.
No, but yeah, Jonathan, I like that a lot. I mentioned God of War because when I played Kid Icarus, it gave me that the feeling like the almost the scope of it all was very God of War like, and the story itself was like it was almost like what God of War was doing too.
Yeah, much goofier, but
Yeah, oh, well, obviously.
definitely works.
I
in
mean,
that game's
I
favor.
want to see in Pitt screwing ladies and
Whoa! I do.
Whoa.
So
Rated M.
I would say that it's a little lighter.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So, Kyler Malik, what you guys got?
All right, Kyler, you got anything?
Yeah, I've got many, but this one's an obvious answer for me. It's I just give me Ape Escape. I just want Ape Escape to come. I just want Ape Escape to come back so bad. I remember, okay, because with the novelty of the first Ape Escape was that it was one of the first games to utilize 2 analog sticks. And I remember when Sony was going big with their PlayStation Move, I was like, here it is. Now is the time for Ape Escape. They're going to utilize the Move controller. And then an Ape Escape game does come out, but you're sucking up monkeys through a vacuum cleaner, and it's like a first-person weird thing. And I'm like, this isn't what I wanted. Like, let me use the little left nunchuck thing to move around, and then the right thing to swing my net around, you know?
Yeah.
And then ever since then, it's just like even like Ape Escape used to be big in Japan too, but like after a while, it's just kind of like fallen off.
Yeah, I think it was just a case of like it just they kind of stopped doing like big things with it after 3.
Yeah, and it's weird because like you look at the PS Vita, and there's lots of like Ape Escape Easter eggs just baked into that system. And it was like because the Vita had 2 analog sticks, and I was like, come on, at one point in time they had to have been developing like internally some kind of like Ape Escape prototype for the Vita. Like that had to have been a thing. Because like you look like at the first PSP, they remade Ape Escape 1 on the PSP.
Yeah, that was my introduction to the series.
Oh, really nice.
Yeah, I would say I hope they were doing that, but that wouldn't make any sense because the Vita's dead. Project would be dead.
Exactly.
But yeah,
How would you revive it?
You see, like the easy answer would be to like just remaster that first game and like add new levels and because like I'm gonna sound crazy, but like Mario Odyssey shares a lot of similarities with Ape Escape, and that its level designs are like really open, and it promotes you like leaving a level, and like I guess Super Mario 64 too, but like it wants you to come back and like explore those levels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would make Ape Escape's levels because they're already open as it is, but I would just make like blow your mind, like make them bigger than you remember, like from when you played it as you were a kid, and then like add more monkeys and stuff, and then new levels.
More
That's-
monkeys.
More
I mean,
monkeys.
I was gonna say Ape Escape 2. That was gonna be my second one. So now I gotta go with another option. But my idea was kind of like that, where it was just open, and I don't know why I thought like an interconnected world,
Oh,
like
that would
where
be
it's just
awesome.
a giant landscape of monkeys to collect, and like as the story progresses, more monkeys
Jesus.
keep coming back. And I don't know what the setting would be. My first thought was maybe do like an internet theme, because
Oh, that's cool.
So it's
For-
like Shadow of War, where you're like fighting different orcs, but instead it's like major monkeys.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, yes. Like,
Nemesis system
Yeah.
with monkeys.
Dude, I love the setting of the third. Like the first game is time travel.
Yeah.
The second game, I don't think it really had.
I was gonna say I think it was just kind of generic areas.
Yeah, it
maybe
was just kinda,
the
like, generic.
worlds, like world traveling kind of.
Yeah, and then like the third one, there was like a TV station.
Yeah,
So you
so-
were like they were parodying all these movies.
All these
And
like
there's, like-
settings. Like
Yeah,
TV
exactly.
settings.
And there's like this one monkey, like they do The Exorcist. There's this monkey in a bed. His head turns around 360 degrees.
That's awesome.
It is so good.
Mm.
Oh, but yeah, I
Internet
think
setting, that'd be good.
Yeah, the internet would be perfect for that.
Yeah.
Or
I
if
mean-
they spoofed other PlayStation games, other PlayStation
Oh,
franchises.
Good one.
Metal.
I like
oh
that.
yeah.
I mean, they kind of did that with the Metal Gear mini game in
Yeah.
the third
That'd
one.
be fun.
But yeah, I mean,
I
would-
I just imagine the Uncharted 4 one. It's just you driving around and then you go flying off the cliff and just you hear a monkey open its mouth and out of it comes Sully's voice. Nate!
Oh no!
Oh my god!
You did it again, kid.
they should release an Uncharted 4 DLC that replaces all the models with Ape Escape.
Oh no! What am I gonna tell Elena?
Just imagining that in my head made me really uncomfortable for some reason.
Just a monkey, like low polygon monkey going. Nate!
I don't
Yeah.
want anything to do with that.
I would take, I would
Oh
take
my God,
anything
that's
Ape Escape.
terrifying.
Even a remake of the first one would be incredible, but I would hope that they do something like brand new from the ground up right
Me
away.
too.
I feel like that open world one would be an absolute cash grab. Like it would be
Ah,
perfect,
It's
honestly.
gonna happen. It's got to. Like, look at the success of Crash Bandicoot,
It's
And then-
coming.
and then people losing their minds over like the medieval remake. Oh, it's gotta happen. It's gotta
It's
happen.
like-
I like-
If you believe hard enough,
Oh,
it will come.
I'll
oh
believe.
my god! What if Leo
Yeah.
Luster?
Oh!
Say no more. I'm not saying anything more.
Nothing more. No more
All
Ape
you have to
Escape
do is
talk.
believe.
Oh my god! I'm
Yeah, just
sweating.
believe.
I'm
That's it.
sweating.
If you believe hard enough. Look, it happens with Michael Huber. He believes hard enough, and
Oh,
things for him,
Now we
dude.
got Shenmue 1 and 2 HD.
It's coming, man.
it better.
Malik, what you got?
All right. So at first, immediately I thought, oh, Skate 4. I want Skate to come back.
yes.
But
Oh,
I thought, what was even better? I
oh,
want Underground to come back. Without a
ooh.
doubt. I want Underground 3 because the open world there felt a lot more lively than Skates.
Mm-hmm.
And then Underground 3, they could just make it a full open world at this point because we have the technology now. You know, you don't have to travel between Tampa.
the technology.
I think it would be perfect right now, and they could pick themselves
Huh.
up from the failure that was Pro Skater 5. I don't think it's even the same developer, but
Oof.
it's just it. I think it would be great. I would.
Oh.
I want it to be an open world. I want there to be like interconnected like multiplayer where you don't have to join a specific game, but you're just in other people's worlds, or they can join you and you can just cause chaos. You can run over people like you usually would, hit them with your skateboard. You can ride around, grind, whatever you want to do. Just go crazy. There's even still a live, community on Underground 2 right now on the
Oh,
PC
yeah?
at
Awesome.
least, and it would be great to see them finally move on to something new in Underground 3. I wish
Malika,
I could see that.
I hate to break your sweet, sweet little boy heart,
Oh no.
Yeah.
but Tony Hark, Tony Hawk, Tony Hawk's disfigured clone, Tony Hark. No, Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk has recently officially parted ways with Activision, and he will no longer be making Tony Hawk games
Just call it
with
something
Activision.
else. Just
They
call it-
Yeah, call it Tony Hawk.
Tony
No,
Hawk's
you know-
Underground.
Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk's
No,
Call
you know
it-
what my biggest fear is?
Call it Skate 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm suddenly in. No, it's
Skate
like
4 Underground. Boom.
you know, it would be so sad if just Tony Hawk goes to Kickstarter, and we have another Mighty Number 9 on our hands.
Oh.
What if that happened?
He just re-releases
Oh.
Underground too.
Man, forget Underground 2. I want American Wasteland 2. That's the Tony Hawk game I played a lot of.
Hmm.
That game was
You're
cool.
also
You built
76 years old, so
that. That is
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
That is
that's
true. The
funny.
times have changed.
yeah.
I don't know.
It's
I
like
think the first Underground game is just the only story mode I really remember, which was it was okay, not like anything, but like an escape game. It was really great, and I want to see something like that again, just like with actual Reputation, where you feel like that build up because it felt like you were a rookie to pro, you know.
Yeah.
And something like that in a new Underground S game would be fantastic. Skate was fun, and like Skate 2 was one of my favorite games yet,
Mhm.
but it's just it didn't have that progression where it didn't feel like the same. It didn't feel like you were building from zero. You didn't have an Eric who turned on you later because you became too famous. He wasn't jealous, you know. It didn't have
Yeah.
that kind of story, and
No
I
Bam
want to see
Margera.
something like that again.
Yeah, it's weird. Like Skate when it first came out, the progression of that game was almost ahead of its time because now if you look back at Skate's progression, it's similar to the progression that we have in games like that now, right? Where it's just kind of yeah, you have everything right now, just go do it, you know?
Yeah,
Like what do you call it? Steep, for example.
yeah.
From Ubisoft, it's like, oh yeah, you have everything at your disposal. Now just go do tricks, just go screw around in the world.
Yeah, and that's what I want to. I want to see the whole competition thing again. I want to see people who that whole skater vibe where you just like you started out with someone recording you on a camera, and then you send it out to the professionals, and then you get to participate in a competition and stuff like that. And they could build on that like crazy. They could make it multiplayer where you see someone else's recording, or somebody could be recording you with some kind of in-game camera, and it'd be like some kind of weird showcase.
That'd be
It'd be
awesome.
all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
like
what I
that a
want to
lot.
see come back.
Nice. All right. My next one that I have is one that we were talking about 2 days ago, Malik. Or actually, it was yesterday. It was yesterday. I want, and it's the perfect time. I want to see SOCOM come back.
I was thinking someone was gonna say SOCOM.
SOCOM needs to make a comeback. Look, as much as I love Ghost Recon right now and its tacticality,
Yeah.
if they announced a SOCOM right now, I would drop everything and I'd be balls deep into that game.
Oh wow.
Because the thing with SOCOM is that as tactical as Ghost Recon is, SOCOM is tactical times 7.
Yeah.
It is the tactical third person shooter that you play. It's very similar to early Rainbow Six, you know, like Rainbow Six Vegas and stuff like that. It's very very similar to that. And SOCOM is such a widely requested game right now. That I feel like now is the perfect time, especially when you have all these multiplayer only shooters going on right now, and
Yeah.
not many people are playing Ghost Recon Wildlands as it is,
Yeah.
but people are wanting that kind of game, right?
Yeah.
And they just don't realize that they can have it. But with SOCOM, like PlayStation actively like supporting and advertising this,
They
dude,
would know.
SOCOM would be ginormous.
Yeah.
It would be
Without a doubt.
huge today.
I think it would surpass the Wildlands, and as in it would become competitive. And the thing is, it would change it though. It wouldn't be competitive like in CS:GO where you're just like running around, you know, you quick firing and everything. Everything's quick and fast. But it would be tactical where everybody's watching and waiting to see what the next move is.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, it's like that type of game right now is so easily marketable.
Mm-hmm.
And so like SOCOM nowadays makes more sense than SOCOM back when it was a thing.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Also, bring back that good old split screen co-op, man.
Oh, without a doubt.
Oh my god! See, that's one thing that I really miss with multiplayer games now. And the last one I think had it. The last one that I played that had it was Uncharted 3 with the split screen multiplayer. And it like even then it was even with your screens being so small, it was so much fun to play together because you were in the same room, you were calling things out to one another. Just
Yeah.
these type of tactical games, when you're in the same room together, work so well. So well. SOCOM now? Come on, Sony. It's perfect.
I feel like
Yeah.
too is that Sony's kind of missing that giant AAA like multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
This is it.
SOCOM's a good pick.
Also, I mean, I don't know why I just thought of this, but one thing I might be thinking, and I might be completely stupid, but what if Days Gone was delayed because it had a battle royale mode?
Oh no.
No, there's no way. There's no way.
No, think about it.
I-
Like
I-
it
I
could
think
it could be a
Zombie
thing.
battle royale.
Yeah.
I think they delayed it because Sony's end of the year was like already crowded, you know, and they wanted to give the game like some time to breathe at least.
But the thing is, yeah, I don't want to get into it too much, but I'll just
Yeah.
leave it at this. Like the thing with that is that they'll have 2 zombie games come out and next year, and one of them is definitely going to overshadow the other.
The Last of Us.
Yeah,
Well, we don't know if The Last of Us is coming out next year either.
it's coming out next
That
year.
could be like another, you know.
It's
But
coming
yeah,
out
you're
next
right. You're
year.
right. You're right.
I could see that being like a game where they announce for 2019 and then they delay it right before, but that's off topic.
Mhm.
Yes. All right, Jonathan, what you got?
This isn't my next choice, but I guess just to kind of roll off your SOCOM discussion, I think it'd be cool if they brought back like a Starhawk or Warhawk or a
Yeah.
Twisted Metal if we're talking about
Exactly.
Sony
Oh, okay.
multiplayer.
Some David Jaffe did say a couple days ago that Twisted Metal is dead,
Oh,
No.
which deeply, deeply
Jesus.
saddens me.
that's a shame.
The last one that came out on the PS3 wasn't too long ago, was it? Or am I in
2012,
grandpa?
2011,
6
Okay.
years. No,
Yeah.
it was
Dude,
2012.
2012. That's what I thought. I love that game.
I
actually
bought
love
that game because it came with a controller, but also because I love Twisted Metal.
Same. I love that game.
But,
Yeah.
It was nice and
Starhawk or
cinematic.
Warhawk. That'd be awesome.
To get on to my actual choice, because Ape Escape was stolen, I'm going to the next Sony platformer franchise I love so much,
Uh-oh.
and that's good old Jack.
Jack and Dax.
Daxter.
Oh my god.
I was
Now,
thinking
here's
about
the thing
this.
about
Like,
You don't
what
think
if
they're
Naughty
already
Dog-
working on one?
I was gonna say, like, what if Naughty Dog was just like, we got something else to announce, and they just dropped like a 3D platformer that looked like
that'd
the
be
original.
awesome.
We're just
If
like,
it
boom,
looked like-
we're doing it.
if it looked like the originals. Oh my god! Oh my god! That'd be something else. Now here's the thing about Jack is that before they were working on The Last of Us, they were actually making a Jack 4 for the
Yeah.
PS3.
Yeah,
Mhm.
But my
exactly.
problem with that was that it looked like they were trying to Unchartedify Jack, and it's like,
Yeah.
why? Why would you do that? You know?
Mhm.
And I think they realized we can't do this. This is not how it's supposed to be. And
Mm-hmm.
then they did The Last of Us, and the rest is history. But I think if they did another Jack, I would want something
Sanzaru.
closer to the original, not basically in every regard.
Sanzaru Games.
I really like Jack 2 a lot, despite how weird and different that game is. I think it works. I think it's a great game on its own merits. But if they ever went back to Jack, I'd want them to expand on what the first one did. Because one of the coolest things about the original Jack was that it was all one world. Like there were levels, but there was a world that connected everything, and it felt like a real world that you were exploring and platforming in. And so to do another game that goes even further with that, maybe with like even more different level ideas, because the first Jack was very natural, you know, a lot of jungles,
Yeah.
volcanoes and stuff. If they just went crazy with another Jack, like on the current generation of power, with, you know, that kind of open world mentality, maybe not in terms of how the levels are designed, but just in terms of how the world is structured.
Mhm.
Just expand on what the first one did. Make an even better version of Jack 1. You'd have to explain, I guess, the story, because I don't want them to like drop the story either that they've built up over the trilogy. But I don't know. It would be hard to get around that. But you know what? maybe it would work in its favor. Where
I mean, I think a rethinking of it wouldn't be too bad if the story's already
or a
wrapped
reboot,
up.
yeah, you
Like
could
a
just
reboot.
reboot
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah, to this day, I still haven't played Jack 2 and 3 because just the thought of it not being Jack 1, it was like so off-putting to me. You know what I
It's-
mean?
Jack
Yeah,
2
no, I
had
know
its
what you
ups
mean.
and downs, honestly. It was fun, but it was also kind of weird.
It's because like I always to me it's like looking at Mario, right? Like growing up with Mario, and then like looking at Mario 2, and he's got like a gun and riding around on a motorcycle. Like it doesn't feel right. And he's grizzled and has a goatee. It's like that's so weird.
It's definitely a
Oh,
product of the
imagining that.
time. It was
Yeah.
I think there was like some interview too where I think Jason Rubin was like, "Hey, GTA is the big thing, but we're still making
Yeah.
Jack. What the heck do we do?" And Shuhei was like, "Just keep making Jack." And then they made a GTA Jack.
Shuhei
Bless
Yoshida, what a
Shuhei.
treasure. What a treasure.
Speaking of Shuhei, did you know he was actually like Ape Escape is his baby? Like that's
Yeah.
his baby right there.
Yeah.
That's even more hope that it's gonna
It's a
happen.
thing. It's coming. It's
But
coming.
anyway, back on the subject of Jack and Daxter.
Back to Jack.
I can see Ape Escape, but Jack and Dexter, just like back then, I feel like it's out of its time. Like Ratchet and Clank came out, but I feel like only thing that can happen is like a remaster.
I would
That's me
say
saying I don't want to crush your hopes or anything.
No, I would say 2 and 3 tonally feel like out of time. They definitely feel like mid 2000s edginess
Yeah,
distilled, but the first one is very like pure, I think.
like it can
First
be
one's
played
timeless.
anywhere.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
they could. I think they could Ratchet and Clank the first one.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I think that would be my hope is to do a remake, but not be like a straight remake. Like
Yeah, exactly.
but like,
Okay,
kind of like a
yeah.
reimagining, and maybe you can
Mhm.
make the ending different, so
Mhm.
that if you want to follow it up, you can do the Jack 1 successor that I would love. So more Jack. I don't expect it. I think it's probably the least likely out of anything I'm gonna say. Well, I don't know. I
Mhm.
don't know what's more likely between Kid Icarus and Jack, but I
Yeah.
love Jack.
Hit me
Jack
with the
1's
Dax
to this
hit me-
day.
Oh, go for
One
it.
of my favorite 3D platformers of all time is Jack 1. So
Yeah.
if you
Zack
gave me more
and
Jack,
Paxter.
Zack and Paxter.
Zach and
No, no,
Dax.
no, no,
start
no,
the
no, no.
Kickstarter.
No. Sack and Paxter.
Oh, Paxter.
Zack and Paxter.
No,
Zack
that's the
and
off-brand.
Paxter. No, I know.
Yeah. As
I know.
as long as
That's
long
the
as the new
Dollar
Jack,
General version.
as long as the new Jack wasn't like Uncharted Jack, then I'd be okay. I think. I mean, it would have
Yeah.
been interesting to see what they, but
Dude,
I'm
that
glad that
concept
they
art was
canned
like
it.
it was pretty good. It was pretty nice.
It was good.
I didn't
think
like
it was
it.
just the wrong series. If they did that, but like with the new characters, a new franchise, and all that,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't be. But
Where's
it's
Naughty
just
Dog
even
sci-fi
when,
game?
yeah, even when like Jack 2 and 3 happened, it still kept that aesthetic. It was
Mhm.
just obviously much grittier, more futuristic and stuff. But the characters, they all still looked like Jack characters.
Yeah.
The humor
yeah.
was kind of the same, and the game feel, the platforming was the same. Just had guns on top and vehicles. Because 2003. That's it. Jack.
Nice. All right, Kyler.
Come on, Kyler.
Oh
Come
man.
on, Kyler.
Well,
Pressure's on.
Jack and Daxter was actually my second pick, so
No,
thank you, Jonathan.
You know what?
That's
for
stealing
being
from each
back.
other.
That's
No,
what you get for
but
taking
it's okay because you made me come up with you made me go deep. You made me go deep, and I
Balls
have
deep.
found I have found a game that I loved dearly that I would love to see make a comeback, and that I thought was gonna get a sequel, but it just never did. I'm talking about a sequel to The Darkness, baby.
Oh,
I was
Darkness
actually
2,
looking
Darkness
at my
3.
library. I was looking at my Steam library and I saw Darkness 2 and I was like, nah.
Have you guys played?
Yeah.
You guys played the Darkness games?
they're
Yeah.
hilarious.
They're
They're great.
amazing. Like
Mhm.
I like the second one more than the first one because they really embrace that weird comic booky aesthetic. But
Yeah.
even
Oh,
the
yeah.
first game is really good. That was like one of the first games I had for like the next gen consoles, and I just remember like running around and like slicing people in half with my like tendril goo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I have to say, okay, when we're on the term of Darkness 2 or just Darkness in general, I was playing Darkness 2. That was the one where I actually played a bit further. I think I'm towards the end. I just haven't completed it just yet.
Mhm.
And I don't. I like the game, but I don't really like how quick it is at times.
Oh yeah.
I really wish it was a little slower, where you could really use that darkness to your advantage more. You know, I don't know. I wish there was more of a stealth factor to it a lot of times.
I can
There
see
is
that.
a stealth factor, but I wish it was there more. You
Yeah.
know?
It's like
Yeah.
it's like this one. Yeah, like I think the Darkness one had a lot more tactical stuff with it. Like you had these like little gremlin goblin guys,
Mm-hmm.
and you can like send them in and do some stuff. And I think they kind of like watered that down in the second one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you're just doing a whole lot of throwing, which is still fun. You're like, I
Yeah.
was throwing people, biting off heads and everything, but I just feel like I wish I was doing more that
Yeah.
slower.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's interesting. Darkness 2, that's a good pick.
it's yeah, it's got like a really unique gameplay mechanic that you just don't get from like other first person shooters, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. It feels like you have a lot on your hands, which is really cool because you have a lot at your disposal.
Yeah, like you literally got a lot on your hands. You got the black goo coming out.
Yeah, exactly. And they're talking to you, saying all kinds of crap. Then you got your little goblin guys or your
Hey, little
imps.
goblin boys.
They really fuck guys up. Like, it's crazy.
Oh, wait a minute. The Darkness 2 has a dedicated boy button.
What?
Oh no!
But it's
You
a
broke
goblin.
yourself.
It's a goblin boy, so I
You
don't know if
broke
that
yourself.
counts. Goblin
It
boys
does.
aren't real boys. Everybody knows that.
It all depends. Like that's racist. If you say that.
Whoa. Well,
It
look.
is.
All I'm saying is I've never.
Look.
You can't tell what the goblin is.
You can like goblins. You cannot like goblins. But saying that goblins aren't real boys, come on now. That's a low blow.
I apologize.
Very insensitive of you, Kyler. I will be asking for your apology after the
So,
podcast
Malik.
is over.
Yeah, look forward to my 12 tweets.
Malik, what you got?
All right. I've said it before, and I'll
Mhm.
say it again.
Yikes.
Postal.
Postal.
Postal. Postal 2 is really active. They still come out with mods on it. And with you could easily make there's so many references you can make these days. The world's a terrible, chaotic, and joke of a place. And you can turn that into Postal 4 so easily. And there's no way you can fail. There's so much going on. They could parody every single thing every day because there's so
That's
much going
true.
on. You can make people who just update the feed in your in-game, like to make that the news in-game, and you wouldn't be able to decipher the real world from that. It's amazing. And they can do so much. I don't know. Clearly the devs are still there, so maybe they're working on something because they're still updating Postal 2. But
Wow.
I don't know. That's all I'm
really?
waiting for because it'd be such a joke that the way social media is moving around, you could make the world a crazy place in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Do you remember that one game that came out recently, Malik, where it was like super edgy and it was like trying to be like Postal 1?
Yeah,
It
no,
was
that
like
was
all black and white and some
sucked.
dude in a trench coat and long hair. And he's like, I just want to watch the world suffer.
Yeah.
It was like just super like, I don't want to say insensitive. Maybe it was. It was
That
just
is gross.
ridiculous.
It was
Yeah.
disgusting. I did not like that game at all.
Yeah.
The thing is, that's not why I like Postal. Sure, it's fun to run around and kill people, but at the same time, it's a lot more fun to see how they how they're so just
Spoof the real
bold.
world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They spoof the real world. They bring in these it's like South Park-esque where they make these references to all these stars in the game, and they're saying what you think they would be like, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they're just so direct and so stupid. It's like the perfect parody.
Just like me.
Yeah, just like
Just like
everybody else.
Oh.
And I'm sorry to say this, but they could easily put in Trump and it would be funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, as long as they didn't go into the orange jokes and stuff like that.
no.
But I would
They'd
have faith
probably-
that they would do it funny.
They'd probably parody Kimmel and all those people too. And that's I just want to see that. I just want to see the perfect matchup, the perfect mash of all these.
Everything that's
going
wrong
on.
in the world.
Yep, just in Postal 4, we can just go crazy and nothing's wrong.
Right. That's good. That's an interesting pick. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
My final one, and this was an interesting one. I had to decide whether or not I wanted a little arcade racer game called Blur. I don't know if you've ever played it. but it's
Oh
like
yeah.
it's my favorite arcade racing game of all time. And by that, or kart racing game, with massive air quotes around it. Uh, but I had to settle on something else. I had to settle on a little Nintendo game,
Oh,
Oh
and
boy.
is this it?
it could be yours, Jonathan. I was actually thinking that you might actually have this,
Well, let's see.
Oh no.
but
I don't-
I'm gonna throw out Red Steel.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
ooh.
Nintendo, bring it back. Okay,
Well, that's Ubisoft.
Yeah, that's Ubisoft.
I don't give a fuck.
Honestly, yeah,
It's
there's a whole lot
Nintendo.
of
Whoa,
It's
calm down.
Nintendo. It's Nintendo's responsibility
Premiere.
See, the
to
thing
be
is,
like, you know what, Ubisoft, help me with this. Let's do it again.
they could easily
Ubisoft's just
make a
over there
jump back
jerking
into that.
around.
They
Yeah.
could easily make a jump back into that because the thing is, like, Red Steel 1 was good, but it wasn't perfect. And then Red Steel 2 was perfect, but it came a bit too late.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then that's the thing with Red Steel 3, they could easily just knock it out of the park because now it's perfect with the Switch.
The time is now, Nintendo.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Like, what are you doing? I've never felt like a more badass flinging my Wii remotes around
My Wii
in
Wii.
a game before. Yeah. Oh yeah, I flung my Wii around too. In that
Oh
game.
whoa.
No, it's just like everything that you can do in that game and just pulling up your gun, shooting
Mhm.
around. Oh, I feel like the Joy Cons too with the HD rumble or whatever. Whenever you like slash and parry someone and you like feel it in the Joy-Con. Oh my god! Or
Yeah.
when you shoot the gun, you like feel the recoil in the gun. Oh my god!
When you're
Dude.
yeah, like you're playing it on the subway and you have to swing your whole switch around.
Yeah,
It's gonna
exactly. On the parties that you're at, the loft parties that you're at in New York
Oh,
City.
oh yeah, yeah, your rooftop parties. Yeah.
Yeah, rooftop parties. There we go.
Mhm.
When you're swinging the switch around. Oh, when you go play basketball and then decide to whip out your switch
yeah.
and play Red Steel.
Yeah.
Hey, it's the best place to play Red Steel.
Look, Red Steel. Red Steel 2 was so good. I loved it. The gameplay, the world itself. I love that. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I want it. Give me Red Steel
Good
2 or
aesthetic.
3.
I
Look.
remember some rumor
That's
a long
it.
time ago. Ubisoft was gonna remake or remaster Red Steel 2 for the Wii U, but then the Wii U came out, and they said,
Ooh.
"Nah, no, we're not doing that anymore."
Look, Ubisoft, see, that's the thing. Ubisoft and Nintendo have good relations. Okay?
Yeah, they do.
Dude, Red Steel 3 is happening. Believe. That's all I got. Jonathan, what you got?
What do I got? You know, it's funny. You were talking about the Joy Cons, and a bright idea popped up into my head that I could talk about. I was gonna say Banjo, but Banjo's not exciting. Everyone wants Banjo. So you know
Everyone
what I'm
wants
gonna
Banjo.
say? Give me
I don't know what I'm gonna
Wii
say.
Sports Resort 2, the real
Okay.
deal Wii
Yeah.
Sports follow-up. Not that
Oh.
garbage Wii Sports Club that was just the
Ew.
original game in HD, except you had to pay like $10 per sport or whatever the heck it was.
Ew.
Wii Sports Resort,
Yikes.
to this day, I think is my favorite motion control game ever. Everything in that game is so like fun to play on a base level. Frisbee golf is my favorite thing ever. And I want a new Wii Sports that uses the Joy Cons. You could even call it Wii Sports. I don't think anyone would care if you made a new game called Wii Sports. And just
No.
have all the original games. Don't cut anything out because Resort didn't have like tennis and boxing for whatever reason.
Gross.
Give me more of that and then add on top like winter sports or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Skiing,
Oh yeah.
snowboarding,
skiing and snowboarding, Wii Sports,
luge.
luge, football.
Oh.
They've never done a football motion control game.
Don't say
that it would
luge
be-
like that ever again.
I don't know if motion control football would be any fun, but hey,
Absolutely
why
not.
Absolutely not.
It's like Nintendo has this like style of pleasantness that you just don't find anywhere else.
Yeah, it's
And
like
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh,
my
except in The
brother-
Last of Us.
Yeah,
Oh.
the Last of Us. I think is Nintendo's best world.
The movie The Road, One of the most
Yeah.
pleasant experiences you could have.
So pleasant.
But yeah, it's like Wii Sports Resort is like my brother was playing that and he was just flying around. And Woohoo Island is such a great location that they came up with.
Such a jolly place.
Like he was flying into the volcano and it was like, oh man, you can do that and that's cool. You could fly your plane in there and die, you know.
Oh, I was
Good
listening.
times.
I was listening to that Touch Generation soundtrack while animating earlier,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I heard some music on there, and I was like, why does this sound so goddamn familiar? And it wasn't Wii
Hey,
Sports.
leave God out of this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why was this so Leo Lustin familiar? And I started crying right then and there.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, but I looked it up and it was the music from Nintendogs, and I was
Mhm.
like, oh, this I forgot about Nintendogs. Nintendogs is pretty cool and it's got good music and it's pleasant. But
Yeah.
that was my whole tangent. That was it. It has nothing to do with anything.
No.
Hey, Nintendogs is cool. It's good enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of hoping that like when we get to the later years of the Switch, we see the return of those kinds of like pleasant, more casual games.
Yeah, like simple. You just go in and play. And
Yeah.
like not only like Wii Sports, but like a Tomodachi Life.
yeah,
one of
that's what was
those.
on my mind.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. That's it. Pretty
From, like,
simple.
Animal Crossing.
Of course,
Well,
Animal
that's
Crossing, but I
common.
feel like Animal Crossing is like the tier above where it's not really part of that group. It's kind of like with the big boys.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
the big
part of
boy
that, but there's definitely more of a grind to it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Animal Crossing is one of those casual games, but I feel like it's such a monster in its own right that it's gonna
Oh
happen
yeah,
away.
Animal Crossing is a monster. While I sleep at night, I keep one eye open, fearing for the Animal Crossing.
I mean, I don't blame
Fearing
you.
for the lack of Animal Crossing.
Well,
Yeah.
fearing for the Tom Nook to just come in and break your door down.
You know, I'm still
Middle of the
scarred from last episode when you said, "What if the Nook brothers said that Tom was dead?" I'm scarred.
I'm
dude.
just saying.
No,
No, but what if Tom Nook actually busted down your door and then he starts asking for bells? You only have a cold hard American.
bells in the bag. Tom, what are you doing here?
You only have cash, but it's not good enough.
Yeah, you want my card?
Like you do the math and it checks out. It's the right amount, but he wants it in bells.
Just a realistic looking oversized coon.
Yeah.
Oh.
In a sweater.
With
Hey,
his
Kyle,
apron.
what do you want?
What do you
Besides
want?
Tom Nook
We-
breaking
no.
down your doors.
We skipped Malik. We have to go to Malik.
No.
Oh, okay. Fine.
I don't want to end the show on a sad note.
What are you
Oh.
talking about?
Okay,
You'll
okay.
see.
We'll
You'll
move
see.
on to sad.
Oh,
I'm ready.
Skip Malik.
So, what I got here, I've got 3 things because I just got I need these off my heart. They're on my chest. A heavy stone.
Off your heart.
Yeah.
Jesus. I
Okay.
feel for you.
So the first one that I really want to see is Fight Night. No, Fight Night Champion was. Woo! Just a whole studio audience comes on, starts clapping. Outro music.
That's all we got tonight.
Return when he reveals what he wants. No, but Fight Night Champion was one of the most fun online competitive fields. I loved it, and to see something like that with again more progression and less of a more like abusable online gameplay would be amazing. Like that's the only reason I went. The only reason I went to Absolver is because you could you can make your own combos, but I couldn't get away from like the fact that you could like move where you dodge and where you block and where you put your strikes with the analog stick. I just love that system and I want to see that come back again. Like the stamina game, you can play for endurance, or you can keep jabbing, or you can just go straight out and just put down their block. Anything
Goddamn right.
like that. I just want to see those boxing games come back because they were the most fun I had with fighting games. Where you just
Nice.
it's such a tension. Yeah. So
Yet,
Mhm.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, I used to play that game a lot because my dad.
That game a lot. Cracking a lot for an old man.
Your fault, Jonathan.
We're losing it.
But my dad was a huge fan of boxing, so we used to we had all the fight nights, like even Knockout Kings on the PS1. But
Yeah.
anyway, my stepbrother knew this move where you could like literally take the player's health down with just one punch.
What?
And he used to do that to me all the time. It was the worst. It was this like really complex thing you had to do with the analog stick. You had to rotate that thing like 8 times. But I would like watch him to see if I could like do it. I could never do it. He just kept knocking me out.
It's like Kung Fu Panda. It's
No.
like, Cap. Oh, fight night. Wow.
Yeah. No, that's definitely one I want to see come back. And then now that we have all those city builders, right? Now this
Mhm.
is something that's crazy in my
Don't
mind. I
do
don't know if
this.
they can really. Oh, I'm doing it.
Don't do this.
I don't know if they can really like pack this all into one game, but I want to see a SimCity mix up.
Don't do this.
Yes. I want to see a Sims
Oh.
5 where they build it into SimCity so you can get back that building aspect that you had in Sims 2, but it's a living city and you're managing it, but at the same time you're a sim inside. And I
You know,
think that
like-
would knock it out of the park.
I don't do this podcast to cry, okay? SimCity 4 or SimCity 5 makes me cry.
Oh yeah, SimCity.
It's not good.
SimCity 5 is not good, you know.
It makes me cry. So
But-
now you're making me cry.
See, but just imagine it. Just imagine.
I know.
That kind of system where they just it's not that hard. I don't think. You just have to make the cities a little smaller.
It's not that hard, EA.
Yeah, it's not that
Just do
hard.
it.
Come on, just make the game. What's that again? In the game or something like that? What's their slogan? It's in the game.
Yeah.
EA Sports. It's in the game. 989 Studios.
It's in the game. No, but I don't know. It's just it feels like it's so logical that you don't have to make all these DLC packs and everything. I mean, you could, but don't make Sims 4. Sims 4 is fun, but it'd be so much easier just to, expand on that. You don't have to add all these new features to the Sims themselves, but just make them living inside the city that you manage.
Mm-hmm.
And then it adds so many more features, or you could make it so that other people visit your city and live in them, but you're managing them instead. And then you can have a whole multiplayer feature where you don't have to have people changing things, but instead you're managing them. So it'd be kind of like a DM. I don't know. There's a whole lot of things you can do, but I don't see them doing anything like that in the near future. And that's something I really want to see, because then you'd be continuing on Sims and at the same time fixing what you broke with SimCity.
I think that'd be interesting actually, is if like the Sims that you played as, or the family that you played as was like the mayor or whatever, and then you played as his family or something like that.
Exactly.
I think that'd be cool. And then as his children like grow up, then you can start playing as them and do their different career paths or whatever.
Bam, yeah, exactly.
I think something like that would be interesting.
Yeah.
But EA, SimCity, what a travesty.
Oh my god, even on launch they just destroyed themselves.
Yes. And I mean, the thing that killed that game was that it was online only, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I bought that game in preparation for a nice long road trip, and I couldn't play it because they didn't have any fucking internet.
Oh,
Thanks, EA.
should have got City Skylines.
Yeah, back in
2 years later.
You just seen it coming, bro.
Yeah, idiot.
Oh my god.
That was 2013, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 2013.
2013.
I was talking about this to Kyler
Uh-huh.
because during our shoots or whatever, people's voices would crack, and then
Yeah.
Kyler would like point it out and be like, "Ha ha ha!" And I was like, Kyler, it's funny with us, but if you start pointing it out to other people, you're not getting that.
Nah.
Start getting pissed at Kyler.
Nah, they all
Point.
know me. We Gucci. Oh yeah,
man.
speaking of that, you kept saying gooch.
Oh
Gooch?
yeah. No. You kept saying that. I said it once.
I said it twice.
No,
How did you guys got?
I said it
what the
once.
hell?
I said it once.
That's
and
a
then,
story for a
How
different
the
day.
hell are you gonna say gooch?
And then I was like, "Oh my god, no! I'm never gonna say that ever again." And you were like, "Don't ever say that again." And then you used it. You used it twice after.
You
You're
did that.
disgusted. You
You-
were disgusted.
You did that.
What's the thought process that went through your head where you're just like Gucci? You have to show it down to gooch. It's not like it stands for something already. You gotta say gooch. Oh no.
All right, Kyle, what you got? What do you have that's gonna make us sad?
Okay. Everybody, you got your box of tissues ready?
Yeah.
I've had them.
I
I've
have
been
a
crying the whole
bloody
time.
tissue.
There was a time in which there was this game which was genre defining. It was the top of its class.
Don't do this.
Federation
was-
Force.
Had gone downhill over the years, but there was hope that it was going to come back. Genuine hope with great talent
Oh, no.
behind it. But it went downhill. I'm talking about bring Silent Hill back.
Oh,
Oh, don't do this. Come on,
Tyler.
you gotta. No, don't. No. Don't bring
Kyler.
up that. No.
Look.
Guys,
Okay,
we were
you
so
went too
close.
far. Eject this guy. Just get him out of here.
Yeah. No.
I'm done.
that disgusts me.
Get this hot head out of here.
I'm done, guys.
Look, yeah, you know what? Good. I know you couldn't handle it.
You're disgusting. You understand that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty
Boy.
sad right now.
yeah, good. No, guys, imagine. Okay, we don't get that. Well, okay, we do.
I
We
can't
get.
imagine it anymore, Kyle. I can't use my mind on that anymore. It's like
It's just that
You're
we
making me
get.
cry.
it's like lost love. All right, that's what it's like. It's like you don't want to imagine anymore. I'm done imagining Silent Hill. All right.
Look, that's it. PT was so promising,
And then they left.
and
It was
then
like the
was
perfect blind
movie
date,
bomb.
and then they left.
But it's okay. Yeah, you know how cool Silent Hills is, right, guys? Silent Hill 2, great game. Silent Hill 3, also pretty good. Silent Hill 4, weird but good. Imagine at the hands of Hideo Kojima, Guillermo del Toro.
Don't do this.
I don't want to imagine.
We are never
Oh.
getting it.
Yeah.
It's
With-
Guillermo. I'm so sad because Guillermo said I'm never gonna work on a video game ever again.
Oh my god, he got borked so many times
Yes, he
by
did.
so many different games.
That's a good word too. Borked. I think
Yeah,
we
that's just-
mentioned
okay,
that in our
actually, yeah.
coffee discussion.
Yeah,
I gotta write that down
Guillermo quit games.
because
Well-
he's tried to pitch a bunch and tried working on a bunch of them, but every single time they fell through the cracks.
Yeah. he got scramboozled.
No.
Yeah, I know I
Don't-
shouldn't
don't
say
do
that.
that.
I know I shouldn't
Don't
say that, but I only speak the truth.
Never repeat that word. No, Malik.
It's
Del
a
Toro's-
curse.
Del Toro's a big boy now. He's got a best Oscar, best picture,
This
best
is
director.
Best Oscar. His Oscar's better than everyone else's.
We
Best
are
Oscar of
dying.
the year.
Big boy movie man forever and
Tonight
ever.
we are dying.
No more video games.
No more podcasts. This is it. This is the end of the channel. We are slowly deteriorating.
My insides are just feeling terrible right now. I can't think of this.
Yeah, I can't think of Silent Hills anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
Has anyone here ever played Shattered Memories, Silent Hill?
Is that the Wii one?
Yeah, I heard that one's really good.
I haven't played it, but I watched like a playthrough of it, and it's like a reimagining of the first game,
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
like structured around like a therapist like thing. I don't know. It looks really cool.
Which one? Which game?
Shattered
Shattered
Memories. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Shadow Memories was great. I like the whole fact that they put in your choices with the psychiatrist,
Mm-hmm.
and then the whole twist at the end, which I will not spoil, is great too. It was really sad, honestly. Broke my
Mm.
heart.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Just like you broke my heart when you brought up SimCity.
Everybody broke each other's heart.
You are
Guys-
a disgusting man.
SimCity.
We need another horror game with just this like this really tense atmosphere and like this oddly good music.
I think you would like Little Nightmares.
I want to play Little Nightmares.
Give it a try. I think you'd
It's
like it.
like
The atmosphere is
I,
fantastic.
yeah, I like the weird guy with the long arms.
Oh no,
Man,
you don't like that guy.
Oh, I love.
No, no,
I
no.
need to play that
I'm gonna
game.
go
Oh,
listen
it's coming to the
Silent Hill
Switch.
2 soundtrack and cry now.
It's coming to the Switch. Yeah.
Kyler, come on.
I gotta make sure.
We cannot.
something-
We're gonna cry.
All right.
I warned you. I warned you all.
You know
Okay.
what? You know what they should do? They should get Good Feel to make a horror game for Nintendo, because I'm pretty sure that the guy who directed Silent Hill 1 and 2 works at Good Feel now, and they're making Yoshi. So
Oh. Yeah,
would've
go
never
from-
made that
go from
connection.
Yoshi to Silent Hill.
yeah, why not? Yoshi horror game.
You guys see that?
Yeah.
Did you guys see that Breath of the Wild concept art that came out recently?
No.
No.
It's horrifying.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, that's another series I would like to be brought back. Legend of Zelda.
Oh yeah, it's been years.
Years.
Yeah.
Also Uncharted.
No, but
I-
honestly, something that I missed. Have you guys ever played the game Bully
Oh,
Yeah.
from
course.
Rockstar? Yeah.
Yes.
Bully, I would
Well,
like to
I
see
would
that
love to
return
see
as
a
well.
Bully too. Like, I don't know. The game felt great. It wasn't like any GTA 5. It was different. And to see a town like that expanded, I would love it, honestly.
Yeah. Bully was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good fun. I feel like something like that can make a comeback. Nothing too crazy, but at the same time, I'd love to see it.
Kyler, I respect you as a person, but when you bring
Yeah.
up Silent Hills, we just look. No,
We need a vow
Don't
that
look
unless it's an
me.
emergency in
Yeah.
this podcast, we do not bring up Silent
we
Hills.
do not
Guys-
bring Silent Hills up unless it is crucial, unless somebody's life depends on.
Unless you have a gun
it.
to your head and somebody's saying bring up Silent Hills, you don't bring up. Even then, you
Look,
let them
I'm-
shoot you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm not trying to garfunk you guys, okay?
Come on.
I'm just
What
trying.
What is with you tonight?
I'm just speaking the truth, okay?
This is obscenity.
Look, I know you guys can't handle the truth, and I'm
Look.
just laying it out there on the table for you.
I get that reference. I just want to make sure that you know that.
Yeah.
They should bring back Viva Pinata. That's a pretty cool game.
Jonathan, shut up. Shut up. No one listens to you.
Yada. Shut up.
Okay.
Jesus.
And
This
ladies
is a
and gentlemen,
salty episode.
this has devolved into one of the most saltiest episodes you would have. All because of Kyler. It's all because of Kyler.
Well, it's
And
all
his
my fault.
stupid mouth bringing up Silent Hill. Okay.
I'm utterly
And now-
demoralized.
And now I have to do the outro pissed off. I'm pissed off.
Yeah, good.
Guillermo del Toro won't make any more games. Hideo Kojima, who knows what he's doing? He's making some game called Death Stranding. That's not Silent Hills. That's not Silent
Game's
Hills.
gonna-
And here
I
we,
can't
here
wait
we
for
are.
Death Stranding in
Here we are.
2029.
Kyler's just bringing up Silent Hills like it's nothing.
You're
He's saying gooch left and right.
Whoa.
This is he said the SCRAMBOOCLED
Yeah, and I'll say
Go.
it
I gotta
again.
be real with
Don't
you
do it.
guys. I don't think we're gonna see Kyler on here in the next episode.
Yeah, we're taking him out.
Oh yeah, I'd like to see you try, big boy.
Probably gonna pass away
You know
from
what?
old age.
Scramboozle you, Kyle.
Oh.
Scramboozle you.
Oh no, you did not.
And
All I
that's
gotta
it,
say
ladies
is,
and
check the
gentlemen.
news tonight.
Just wait
Yeah,
until
check
Leo
for
Luster
me.
hears about this.
That's the thing, you keep using his
Fucking
name
wait.
in vain. It's
That,
not cool.
that is disgusting.
Leo Luster
Kyler,
doesn't want you using his
Get
name.
out of here.
Go
okay?
to the doctor again. See what he has to prescribe.
Ladies and gentlemen, vote to kick. Vote to kick this man
Oh,
out.
yeah?
The next episode, the 10th episode of the Boss Rush podcast will be Judgment Day for Kyler Ramos.
I'm muting him.
Okay? Yeah, this is gross. Get this man out. He has said the S word. He has said the G word. He has brought up Silent Hill. Okay? That is unspeakable.
How do
All
I
right.
mute him?
This man does not deserve. This man does not deserve to be here with us.
Oh no.
We will see you next week on episode 10 of the Boss Rush podcast.
How do I unmute him?
Till next week. Howdy, folks.
Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.